Doesn't they? Hello, the fucking Lulu's making fun of me for a second because it didn't mute. Anyways, hello Freezy, hello Jadowski, hello Ticonderoga. Fucking, let's see. Let me make sure that everything is set up right. There, they can like. Hold on. There. Okay, now mic is back on. They can hear you.
Beginned.
Beginned.
Beganed.
Bagoonard.
All right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awkward. Oh, hey, the stream. Let's see. Pop out, do that, hide members. Everything's working.
Yeah.
Holy shit. I am set up. They can
Welcome back,
hear you.
setup.
I fuck off. They can hear me. They can hear you.
I love how the changes to Pokemon Go are pissing people off.
Yeah, no, it's you make character ugly when pretty, and then like, yeah, people are going to be mad. Hey, did you know that like one of the things that they've been talking about with Final Fantasy 14 is how the next expansion is going to have a graphical update, and so they spent like a lot of time making sure that it that people will enjoy that type of stuff, and like how they showed it off during like their fan fest, and even when during fan fest they got feedback from like people with that play certain races, and like, hey, this doesn't look as good, and so they cleaned up some of that stuff. Man, why is it that Japanese developers like to listen? Well, I mean, sometimes they feel like they're more in tune with listening, unless you're Nintendo.
Perhaps it is because it's superior.
Superior Nipponese tastes.
Superior to these nuts on your face.
Superior nip on these nuts on your face? What?
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 Huh?
I didn't say that.
But
I said these nuts superior to these nuts on your face.
okay, but if Xavier said Nipponese, like Japanese.
I don't know. I wasn't really paying attention that closely.
Good job, Susie. You truly are a paragon of something.
Susie's acting like how I do when I'm listening to most streams, where I just sit back and I start disassociating, and then like somebody says something very strange and very weird, and it snaps me back into reality, where I don't know, they just start talking about cum guzzling or something like that, and you get snapped.
Love guzzling.
See, the problem is you cut out there, so for a second there I thought you were going to say cunt.
Cunt guzzler, dick treasurer.
I am cunt guzzler.
Cunt guzzler is 69.89.
See, she makes the ladies wet. That way she can guzzle the cunt.
Wow.
Oh, this has gotten weird. Let's move on.
Wow. What do you mean weird? No, this is fine. This is normal.
Yeah, I mean, look at where we're going to.
So I'm gonna have to.
Where are we going? Oh God.
So I'm not going to request being the voice for this one. I'm going to mandate it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I figured that was going to be a demand. You enjoy the sweaty man. Go ahead.
This isn't about enjoyment. This is about fitting.
This is
about having the right voice for the job.
This is about.
I'm just gonna say you've liked Equius for a long time, and your
irrelevant
refusal to acknowledge that you love the Horseman is just
irrelevant.
Kind of a running gag now.
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter, and I don't refuse to acknowledge it at all. It's simply that I don't think either of you have the voice for this man.
It's true.
No, I mean, true, but also you kin him, so that's no,
No,
no.
it's not like that.
It's it's not.
No.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
What do I use? Do I use his image as my fucking PFP on Discord or something?
No,
Exactly.
not that
So-
I
No,
know
but you do
of.
have like a fair few emoticons of just aqueous reactions.
I also put Terezi in my, or I tried to put Terezi in my my fucking server too, but I didn't have enough emote slots. So
So
you
so
just put your favorite
cho-
there?
Yeah,
Is that what you're
exactly.
saying?
You chose.
No.
You had the.
he's just the most he's just the most expressive.
Excuses.
doesn't have any-
excuses.
Like look at this face. You try to tell me anyone else pulls that off in the same way. You can't. It's wrong. Anyway, let's go ahead and begin the friendship process.
It's a clear, cool night, and you're wandering around trying to decide whose hive you should crash at before the sun comes up. It's nice. Having so many options for places to stay, you cultivated a decent community for yourself, and there is an ember of pride in your belly about it. Still, you find yourself feeling a little aimless. The last couple
Something about coming? Is that what you were about to say?
Shush.
Maybe
The
maybe you should
last
turn
cup-
up your
You find yourself coming.
No. The last couple of friends you made were pretty intense. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but you're vibing at a chiller frequency right now. There's still a while until it gets dangerously light out, and you sort of pop around, seeing what feels right. It's kind of fun to test out the boundaries of your powers. You've used it to find friends, but you're really not sure how far it goes. You think tree, and you don't know how your magic brain decides which one to choose, but fuck if you aren't sitting on an extremely high branch a second later. You try it again, with whatever concept comes to mind. Garden. Oh. Cave. It's same line over. Mall, and it all works. We're reusing assets once again. Please enjoy.
Yeah, but it's a gag, so you know. I mean, like a.
Wait, no, reusing assets. It's fine for this.
Yeah.
You don't remember ever having been to any of these specific places, but you feel strange, prickly affinity for each of them. Your feet affinity for them each time your feet touch the ground. These are all pretty generic locational nouns, though. You wonder if it works for things that you're more abstract. Quickly, before you can talk yourself out of the naivete of it, you think home. It still takes you a minute to open your eyes, even after you feel all your guts back in the right place. Because what if you wake up in a room that feels like yours? Or worse, infinitely more likely, what if you don't? You breathe in deep and immediately cough wretchedly. You open your...
Whoops. Sorry. See, kids, this is why you don't leave your finger on the trigger.
You open your watery eyes, clinging to the hope that maybe you have
Come?
clinging to the hope that maybe you come from a land of dusty comforts, where you always breathe in layers of dust, and it's fine.
Clinging to the cum.
It's not fine.
Come.
It's
You
not
look-
cum.
You've laid inside one of the spindliest,
Cummiest.
more precarious hunks of metal that's ever been bolted into the side of a cliff. It looks like some ancient outpost, not
Come.
homey at all.
Come.
I'm sorry. Now that it's happened once, all I can read is you've landed inside one of the cummiest, most cum-carious hunks of metal. Cum.
Of course, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't come. It was stupid to try. Defeat is bitter,
Cum
in,
is
your
bitter in
mouth,
your mouth.
like cum. There's a twisted part of
Alright.
you that wants to curl up on a particular piece of floor and take a nap. You can't work out how much of that urge is just you wanting to give in. So just in case, you don't surrender to it.
And take a cum.
Maybe you'll come back another time and sift through all the shit on the shelves. But for now, you're not sure how structurally sound that thing is, and you can't take any more disappointment. So you try one more time to pop up somewhere you haven't been before. What was that one guy's name that Gamzee mentioned? Oh yeah, Equius. Maybe he's chill. You think his name and zap away. Imagine yourself leaving an edgy, despondent swirl of dust in your wake. Your magically zap calibration maybe isn't as off as you thought, because you pop in on Equius as close as it is possible to get to the dude without landing directly on top of him. The astonishing unchilledness of the situation is immediately apparent. He's mid-jump, mid-yell, mid-sweat. Imminently apparent. He's mid-jump, mid-yell, mid-sweat, and mid-swing of an outlandishly beefy arm down towards you. You freeze frame like an anime protagonist analyzing their choices mid-battle. In your drawn-out split second of an observational window, you realize he's not aiming at you, but in the direction of whatever noisy, whirring thing you happen to plop down in front of. Fuck? As soon as he sees you, his eyebrows shoot up above his busted-ass sunglasses, and his yell strangles itself into panic. His arm shudders as though he's trying, and failing, to alter its glorious faceward trajectory. You really do not want to get your face punched off your head, so you scream and zap outside the high-arched door on the far end of the room. You hear a deep, meaty thunk, followed by a groan, then a sharp metallic crunch. The whirring stops. Oh my god, is he dead? Is the other thing dead? Should you go check on him? You skitter away from the door and then back to it, unsure what to do.
Was that? No, it can't have been. Hello? Show yourself this instant.
Ah, fuck. He does not sound happy. His words are a little garbled too, like some teeth just got knocked out by whoever's ass he was just kicking. You weigh your options. Wait, I keep doing that. I always hit the channel point option when I'm supposed to be hitting slash poll. Wait. I don't know. I'm not gonna try to spell it right. No. There you go. Shall you come? Blizzard out? God. I don't need reading glasses. It's more or less like my brain doesn't process it right. Crazy. This guy. Man, that reminds me, I've been once again playing a lot more of RimWorld, and I don't think there was anything new with it. I don't think anything funny happened. I'm just trying to think. It's like, no, nothing funny. But then again, I stopped playing with Randy, so and did something sensible. No, we shall not come. Jadowski does not want us to come.
So,
Wait.
chicken out?
Wait, shit. Actually, how did...
Is
wait,
that chicken out, or is that be brave?
that is chicken out. That would be the first one. You don't know. Ecrius looks super strong and even more pissed. You really, really don't want to be next in line to get disemboweled. If friendship with the guy is really meant to be, then maybe you can reconnect with Gamzee as an intermediary. That sounds like a normal and cool time.
Hold on a second. Okay. Sorry about that. I got a message from someone.
Panic grips you as his heavy footsteps approach the door. Forgetting you have super useful zap powers specifically for use in time-sensitive panic situations that you've used before with Carcat, you turn and run. You glance over your shoulder as you go and collide spectacularly with a brick wall. You're looking up from the brightly polished floor where you lay, inexplicably doused in milk and broken glass. You realize that it wasn't a wall you hit. It was a glistening, part pseudo-humanoid, part horse, cow, beast, person? Another godforsaken Lucius, maybe? You really aren't sure, but the fact that his top hat kind of looks more like a dapper, kind of looks a more dapper you feels, looks, wait, you weren't really sure, but the fact that his top half looks kind of like a more dapper you fills you with the most cursed mix of fear and curiosity you've felt thus far. He doesn't seem bothered by you at all, only anxiously trying to get by you. You try and stand up, but you slip on the milk and eat shit, just as Equius bursts through the door. They both tower over where you lay, flopping ineffectively in a burgeoning puddle of froth. God, is everyone in this house just made of muscle? You've had enough of this regular strength. You had enough of this regular strength escape attempt shit. Bruised, humiliated, and covered in dairy, you zap out of there. Oh, he's sweaty. Oh, there's the others.
Oh dear lord.
Okay, now that is cum. I'm sorry, wait. That is cum.
No, that's milk.
No, that has the viscosity
that has
of
the viscosity and
But
just awful look of someone who draws cum professionally for furry art.
no, it was milk froth.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that
read-
has the same uncanny nature of like super defined feet you see on like artists that draw a lot of like foot porn.
But when you see a super detailed moss shot, yeah.
Yeah.
Covered in dairy. No, it says right there. Covered in dairy.
Yeah,
It's milk froth.
It's cum.
It's just it's milk.
It's just sticky, somewhat salty milk.
My girlfriend even agrees it's cum.
Oh no, oh man. You know that Gamzee's seal of approval is maybe not the most credible, but this guy might be an okay dude. And it would definitely be your fault if he was hurt in there. You should at least check on him, explain or something. You can zap away if it comes down to it.
Second. Here we go.
You do the polite thing this time and knock. He opens the door fast, like he was just on the other side of it. You both jump. He collects himself and glares at you, arms crossed against his heaving chest. Rivets of blood and sweat run together and pool in a divot above his weird alien clavicle, and a low, menacing sound rumbles through him. You can feel it in your teeth. Holy shit, he's terrifying.
Explain yourself immediately.
You think you might shit your pants on the spot, but he gives you a quick up and down and rearranges his expression in sort of a forced smile. It doesn't really feel any more welcoming, what with the blood dripping down his chin, but the fact that he's trying is maybe a good sign?
Yeah, see, look at that face. Look at how expressive that is.
You hold in your fear shit, just in
trying.
case.
Or perhaps come in and take a seat.
He steps aside to beckon you through the door, then sort of freezes. Also, people are changing my color, and they've landed on the shiny Salazar one, which is, of course, white and, yeah.
Bloody nut, I see. Unless you should be the one instructing me. In which case, it would behoove you to make that promptly apparent. I cannot work out how exactly to address you when you don't wear a caste symbol, and you look like that. Which I am either very sorry for, or quite cross about, depending on where the truth lies. Either way, I am beginning to perspire about it. So out with it right now.
Man, he's really struggling. The anger you felt radiating off of him before is still there, but that doesn't seem to be all what's driving him. It's like there are two competing forces inside of him. One that wants to yell at you, and one that wants to get yelled at by you. Also, hello Fox News, and thank you for the streak. You might conceptualize these forces as fierce animals warring in a glorious and unwavering balance. Horses, perhaps. Anyways, you'll workshop that metaphor later. You tell him that you look weird, but you promise you're cool. You know a friend of his. At the mention of Gamzee, the corner of his lips curls up into something complicated. So you change course real fast just in case. And Karkat! Does he know Karkat? What a guy. He eyes you warily, or you think he probably does. With his eyes hidden behind his shades, you can't be sure. But he's being very still. Sweat and blood are still fucking running down his face, and he's not even acknowledging it. He laughed nervously. You both continue to stand there, waiting for the other to make a move. It would be super helpful if someone was assertive around here. Hey, does anybody want something to eat? What place do you want to go? Want to go to fast food? What fast food place? Anyways, luckily, some kind of cow centaur man, his Lucis, you assume, breaks the awkward doorway stalemate by silently trotting up and handing Ecrius a desperately needed towel. He then offers you both some frosty glasses of milk. Something deep inside of you feels a swell of warm recognition for the ritualistic moment of a friend's parent bringing you snacks. So you down that thick shit in one go.
Oh, thank you, Arthur.
It's thick. Why is the milk that thick? The Lucius mustache...
It's extra strength.
Yeah. That
Extra strength milk.
Sure.
The Lucius's mustache flutters.
It's strong milk.
The Lucius's mustache flutters in appreciation, and after a nod between him and Equius, he leaves as quietly as he came.
I see you're an aficionado of the sweetest of nectars. This speaks to the likelihood of your nobility, which is reassuring. I may be able to overlook the circumstances of our meeting, then. If you can provide strong evidence, of course. Tell me, are you also a hoof-beast art enthusiast?
He beckons you inside the room, and as you follow, you tell him you're not really sure what that means, but probably. You're a fan of a lot of... Oh... Well, okay, so that's what that means. Cool. Yeah, you know, whatever. You feel like you've learned once that anything can be art if it feels right. So art could definitely be the well-muscled horseman on the walls of this here living space. Ecrius rumbles in agreement and gestures towards a chair. It's one of those cool red and black gamer chairs, even though this one is definitely not black. Themed chairs with embedded speakers. There's a lot of that kind of decorating motif in here, which is a little at odds with the high ceilings and engraved doorways and general blue blood old money architecture. Oh, yeah. And there's broken bows and robot parts all over the goddamn fucking place.
His room is lousy with robot parts.
Not in neat little stacks or connected to other robot parts to create whole robots, just absolute wasteland of obliterated robo-corpses. Like they all were torn limb from limb and just scooted off towards the wall. And yes, Freezy, it is his goon cave. A fair few of them are splattered in blood too. Dried, it almost looks black, but fresh stuff on the fists and the one But fresh stuff on the fist of the one in pieces at your feet is bright indigo. On the other hand, it is an absolute relief to see that it's all metal and not flesh body parts scattering the floor. Hold on.
Not a problem.
You skipped. You skipped. I know you skipped.
Oh, I skipped. Oh man, I'm sorry.
Go back. But it's still, you know, not fucked up looking. You smell it probably has too many teeth in it to seem normal, but Ecrius returns it in kind and leans, what he probably thinks is casually, against the edge of his desk. He creaks under his weight. Jesus, he could just end you in half a second, couldn't he?
I could snap the Empress in half. Oh, sorry. You claim we have mutual acquaintances, so demonstrate it.
He nods towards the screen of his desktop where he has Trollian open. Oh, fuck. Okay, you guess you can just click on someone and ask them to prove it? He seems to know both Karkat and Gamzees, and between the two, you probably know who's most likely to be online and ready to pester and be pestered at all times. So you click on his screen name and start typing. I guess this is me, because technically...
Yeah.
Hey, Karkat, I hope you're having a good day. I have a quick favor to ask you. Susie? Susie, do you want to be Karkat?
Sure. Wait, what?
Oh, also, I miss you.
What the fuck? What happened to you? Where's your horrifying quirk? How am I supposed to saddle up for some truly nauseating conversation if I don't have a not thin at all bolt? How am I supposed to saddle up for some truly nauseating conversation if I don't have a not veiled at all bulge reference greeting me at the beginning of every one of your excruciating messages? Are you sick? Like, in a new way?
Oh, right. Jesus, you're logged in as Ecrius. You fool ass just started typing like you had your own account for some reason. You blame it on the nerves and get to clarifying. Oh, sorry. This is your new friend. After I dropped you off yesterday, I wandered around for a while, and now I'm hanging out with Ecrius. I'm on his computer.
Oh. My pusher almost fucking gave up on the spot.
I don't think he trusts me. Can you just vouch for me?
Hold on. Just let me bask in the concept of you two hanging out. This is a mental masterpiece. A tableau of awkward fucking splendor. I legitimately do not even know what sort of short-circuiting must be happening in his brain to try and make sense of you. Please don't tell me a single fucking thing about it later. Okay. Whew. I'm done now. Is he watching?
Ecrius leans over your shoulder and tucks his hair behind his ears so it doesn't get in the way of his typing.
It's a bow and arrow. Any resemblance otherwise is only a pleasant coincidence. And yes, I am watching.
Okay, whatever. Listen up, you milk-log chum squelcher. This little guy right there, the one you're probably dripping sweat all over, that's one of the realest friends you'll ever hope to make. Sure, they'll send your life careening horrendously off course, but it will absolutely be worth it for the level of dedication they bring to the table. Don't even bother with the blood-colored horse shit with this one, since they're the only one of their species. Just roll with it for once in your wretched life. Don't fuck this one up, Zahak. They're an abomination, and they wouldn't know what a boundary was if it took up residence in their grease chute. But you two have those things in common, so in this case, it's a good thing.
Ecrius inhales sharply, and you wonder what Karkat meant by that. About Ecrius, you mean? Sure, you're an inexplicable being, neither Earthling nor Alternian, but with weird, itchy memories about having lived on both planets. But he doesn't seem out of the normal range of fucked up, considering troll standards.
In fact, how about this?
That is sufficient. Goodbye.
He minimizes the window and steps back, somehow sweatier than he was before. He taps the tower gingerly to his forehead.
So, we have now been properly introduced.
Okay then. You definitely thought he was going to be a little more thorough than that. He does seem a little shaken up, so maybe you should just be thankful the conversation got cut short before he could really dig too deep into your lore and get judgmental about it.
I do not know the standard method of communication with your species. You will take the lead here, and it will surely become clear how I should proceed. Yes, that sounds extremely feasible. You will now begin the friendship process. I command it.
Oh, sure. You got this. Also, hello, Avalon. Now I have tits. How exactly do you got this? Alright. Whole time.
So, we're both freaks, huh?
Dragon.
So, we're both freaks, huh?
So!
Oh.
Like, that's just something that a clown needs to say. A genuine clown. I hear you like to get a little freaky.
So! Tickle the clown it is!
Could I interest you in some cashews?
Also,
Can I-
Ticonderoga
Can I
says...
interest you in some cum?
No.
Some clown cum from my clown car!
Ticonderoga,
Every night I pray to the clown god.
Okay,
Then one
Snagglepuss, Jesus Christ.
I'll have my own clown car.
It's full of clown cum!
So I can fill it with cream pies.
What did you say? Oh, about how it smells good. It must smell good in there. No,
I can't think about it as the rainbow dash jar!
e- Oh wow, y'all are fucking tied. How did y'all tie this pole? Fuck. Okay, I guess we're both freaks.
All right.
We're both freaks.
All right.
We
So we're both freaks.
Yeah,
huh?
we gotta hit that bit. You decide to just go for it. Sometimes leaping into what could potentially be a super sensitive topic for someone ends up being the key ingredient in a friendship pie. You can see it now. Icarus crying, thanking you. You can see it now.
Thankful you are here.
Icarus crying, thankful you are here to talk about whatever this unspeakable commonality you share is. You wiping his tears with his already pretty soaked towel. You shake yourself out of the daydream and drop this sweet loaded question right in his lap. Holy shit, you can't wait till this works.
Excuse you. Speak for yourself. My standing is unblemished. Karkat is only comparing us in that way to further the ruse that he has removed from that particular category. It is a delicate social dance.
Oh, okay. You're not really sure Karkat sees it that way, but hey, whatever works for them. Anyway, you know that he was just yelling a lot about something that's not a big deal, as is a manner of showing affection. But you just thought he meant like the horn thing.
The horn thing.
Oh, shit. You're sorry. You don't know what things are and aren't cullable around here, you know? It's almost like it's all entirely arbitrary and at the whims of whoever's in charge or something. You like the look, personally, but you haven't made friends with someone with a broken one before, so you're not sure how common it is.
It is relatively uncommon. They are exceptionally sturdy, so it may take something very strong to break them.
It looks like he might be able to tell you the story, but somehow you just keep not learning the lesson. Where you should just chill and experience something instead of leap to try to figure it out before it happens. So, fueled by enthusiasm for your newest spur-of-the-moment decision, you stop listening to his lecture on troll biology and focus instead on zapping to the moment his horn broke.
This can only end well.
Troll biology is probably super uninteresting anyway, and you'll come right back here and be able to contribute more to the conversation.
Rude.
You pop into familiar nothingness, but instead of appearing to the point in Ecrius past, you feel yourself split. It's like looking at a magic eye puzzle, but with your whole body. You try to concentrate to align segments into a whole, but it's too late. You think for a second that it might be a cool new power, but it doesn't feel that different than before, only just triple. It's like there's a narrative precedent for this moment existing in more than one plane of truth. Unable to do anything else but sit there in space, contemplating this paradox, you watch. He looks like a little younger, but not much. He's beating the shit out of Robot, but they're not. It's not the same as it was before you saw it. When you saw it before, however briefly. Then his movements have been smooth, even in their rage. Like he wasn't afraid until you showed up. Here in this weird half-present space, his movements are erratic. He swings wildly, unthinkably, like there is nothing left inside of him but one last flicker of fury. His teeth are gritted and his tears against tears, and he just looks so tired. You want to pull him back to make him rest. You see him reach the same conclusion, but not at all how you meant it. He just stops. The robot does not. You feel him close his eyes. At the same moment, you see another snapshot in time, much further back. There's a little grub wobbling its way up a stalagmite in a cave. It's definitely a precarious place, but it still somehow feels safe to you. For some reason. Safe, but also like super violent. Who knows? There's a lot going on right now. He crawls to the top and roars a baby clicking roar, eyeing a taller cave precipice. You see his little behind wiggle as he moves to jump. On top of that, there's another Ecrius, looking about the same as he does now, just plus one horn, out for a stroll in the moonlight. This one is about to cross the street when a majestic herd of hoof beasts crests a faraway hill. He stops, transfixed, as the animals gallop across the plain. He does not hear the approaching scuttlebuggy. You watch all of this from your floating void standpoint, unable to stop it. The arcs of their falls align in the cosmic synchrony. Hair fanned out like a banner of defeat. The echo of the crack of the horns make as they shatter reverberates in your teeth. You yell as all three Ecrises hit their respective grounds. You can't help it. You started to care about this guy a little bit. As the sound leaves you, all three of them turn their injured heads to look at you in unison, and you freeze. Shit, that's probably not supposed to happen, right? You were just watching, not changing anything. You barely know what you're doing, though, so you can never be sure. You snap immediately back to the present, winded and dizzy. You feel deeply, suddenly corporeal, like you do when you step off a boat onto shore, but with each atom of your body separately and all at once. Ecrius is standing exactly where he was when you left you, totally unchanged, yet still yammering about anatomy. Whew, good to know nothing got fucked up in the future after you...
Wait. You were there.
He pauses, shaking his head to clear it as if memories realigned.
I don't know how I didn't remember. I accepted your offer of friendship and you repay me with this tomfoolery. I knew how it happened all this time, and yet you knew how it happened all this time, and yet you played ignorant, jockeying for position as someone in my trust, only to play me for a fool.
No, see, you did it before. It wasn't until after you went back in time. It wasn't until after you went back that this became the way things went. See, the way time travel works is.
Do not explain time travel to me. What do you take me for?
You still reeling a bit from seeing him so vulnerable. By varying definitions of vulnerable, you guess, but still. You know you got this information from an unfair source, but now that you have it, you don't feel right just leaving. There's more to Ecrius than you'd originally thought, and you feel the chance to learn more about him slipping away.
I don't know what it is you want from me, but you will not receive it.
Whatever connection you feel to him in this moment, he clearly does not return it. And, shit. He's starting to get pissed. Sweat begins to beat at his temple. Your brain, scrambling to grasp a hold any thought that isn't your abject friendship failure, latches onto the realization that, sweat and all, his hair somehow still looks really good. Would now be a good time to ask him about what products he...
I don't think this alliance is going to work out. You will leave. I must get back to my business.
Your heart sinks as he turns his back to you, presses a button on the back of the robot's neck, and rolls his shoulders.
Goodbye.
But just one...
Doesn't that feel bad?
Okay, show off your cool powers. Great, you can still do that. Making friendship happen is like the one skill you actually have. From what you recall, you have 100% success rate at it too. So this budding rapport is safe in your hands.
Excellent.
You really weren't sure he'd be down for this. It really seemed like he might be coming to kill you when you heard him stomping towards the door earlier.
Kill you? I would never...
He cuts himself off as though he didn't intend to admit he didn't have it in him to murder you, and clears his throat.
At first I thought you might be Arthur, my Lusus. It's ridiculous looking back, though you do share a sort of globular-plated resemblance. How did you come to entangle yourself in my brawl, only to immediately escape? Are you... abnormally fast? I admit that particular method of being strong had not occurred to me, but I am intrigued. I, too, like to test the limits of physical capability.
Oh, no, you can just zap places. It's a kind of strength, maybe, if you wanted to find a superpower that way. You show off a bit, since you know Ecrius likes demonstrations. You tell him about how all you have to do is think of a place or person you want to visit and pop. You bump in front of a tall pile of robot parts, then back in front of him on the floor. It's like that, except anywhere.
I see. That is exceptional.
He sort of just starts quaking gently where he stands. He rubs his neck with a towel, but he's not really even sweating any more than he's already been. It's though in his excitement he forgets to sweat and just dabbed by the force of habit. Is that a thing? Why are you even noticing this shit?
Is it possible to bring along a pillion rider?
What, like zap a buddy with you? In answer, you extend an elbow for him to grab. His whole body is vibrating by this point. He reaches his hand out, but just stops before he touches you, like you might shock him. It's okay. It won't hurt, you say. His fingers twitch just above your elbow, and his mouth purses in distrust. You're not sure exactly what he's worried about, since you're extremely undangerous, but you let him have a moment to work through whatever he's nervous about. He takes a steadying breath. It's a little unsettling to see his face relax, even briefly, into soft, calm lines. Flip palm up, his hand slowly cradles your forearm from below. He nods, a sharp, determined movement, and starts telling you what to do again.
You will take me with you. Her name is Nepeta. Do you require any other information, or will that be sufficient?
That ought to do it. You haven't heard of her, and you don't think, but you feel an immediate surge of excitement about this little jaunt. It's probably mostly just the friendship thirst talking, but you can't help but feel like this is a connection that is supposed to be made, like it's something that matters. You zap away. The pleasant little cosmic slip and slide feeling when you zap around is jolted, like you got yanked off the ride with a push hook to your guts. You land back exactly where you started.
That did not work. Did you mislead me?
No, this should work. You're not even high this time.
As impressive as the strength of your power is, perhaps you need to apply more attention to the more intricate details involved. She is an olive blood, very short, and shamefully unkempt. This information will help.
You hope so. He, is starting to look pretty tense, even with this fond lilt in his voice as he talks about his messy friend. You give it another whirl, and then you feel it, that same weighty glare on the back of your neck telling you you don't belong. Fuck, you got zap blocked again.
You will try again.
Each word is ground out one at a time between his clenched teeth. Blood trickles through the cracks in his bite and out the corners of his lip. You really don't think it's going to work, but Icarus looks like he's a second away from losing his shit. So, reluctantly, you comply. I don't know.
Quit fucking trying to skip ahead. It's not going to work.
As you hurtle through space-time towards Icarus's floor, you start to wonder if this is just going to be what happens now when you try and make friends. You accept this truth into your heart and as your face accepts the impending wood planks. Icarus lands on his feet a little ways away from you, his hands balled into fists, bellowing with impotent rage. He's not even saying words, just unleashing an agonized guttural wail. He punches an already dead robot torso leaning against a bookshelf. In punctuation, he kicks the decapitated head, which explodes in a shower of bolts and sparks. As the dust clears, you see him dutifully wiping himself down with a towel, breathing hard. He seems to have worked his anger out, because he walks with a purposeful grace, as though he learned it in cotillion.
It's like some kind of fancy-ass, like, manners thing.
$5 word, and sits next to where you're still sort of laying on the floor. You're both silent for a beat. Icarus tugs at the lock of his hair, anxiously wrapping around his fingers. His hands fall to his lap.
Look at him.
Aw, you enjoy him.
I apologize for that display.
I like how they give him, like, actual depth here. It's nice.
The disappointment emotion is not my favorite. I feel better now, however. My Moirail lives very far away, so our paths have never been able to cross. Whatever force is blocking us seems to wield significant narrative power, so I will respect its whims as above mine in status. For now.
You know, it happens. You're no stranger to the ups and downs of friendship. The trick is to know when to keep trying and when to fall back, no matter how futile it feels or how alone you are.
Your morale is impressive considering your circumstances.
That's probably mostly a compliment? You're not really sure. Your circumstances definitely feel like they could be worse.
You are very sure of yourself. How do you manage this when you are the only one of your kind? Without a society to tell you how to act or feel, how do you know if you are living in the correct way? How do you know where you belong? Or if you belong?
Fucking ouch! The desire to belong is a yawning wound in your gut, one that never seems to heal. You try to not let this rip too many stitches out of it. You never feel totally secure, you say. There's always fear, always doubt, always pain. But you find people in unlikely places. Make community when and where you can. Shit, you have your belongings at, what, like 8 people's houses by now? But it's not the same as having your own spot. But it's definitely something. You started off on the defensive, but now you realize it's true. So really, you figure you're still defining yourself by your relationships to other people, but that can come from a good place and not just a twisted and forced one. You wanted to know if you're doing something right, unlocking your own mentally devised set of achievements for that sweet dopamine rush. But leaning on a fucked up social system for direction and validation doesn't really help him, and it definitely isn't helping many others. You don't need to figure yourself out.
Are you saying we don't have to live in a society?
His brow furrows, and you can almost hear a couple of the 4,672 rigid barriers in his brain creaking open. It's not just other people you think. You find strength. Oh, sorry, strength. Is that right? In your own self, too. You've met a lot of people and learned a lot of ways to be, but you're still working on what that means for you.
Oh, by the way, look, see, it's a different writer, and they're using the double dashes instead of the M dash.
Finally, some decent fucking food.
We're seeing like the different writers are doing their different writing styles, even though they're trying to be like the same narrator, you know.
Nature is healing.
But I wish that someone would have just proofread it and unified them.
It wouldn't have even been that hard.
No, it wouldn't have. No, it is not right, but I appreciate the attempt. This type of understanding does not come easy to me, but I believe I am following. In my case, I have striven to locate and retool the edge of my own ability. Physical prowess is a relatively typical indigo trait, but I am an abnormally strong. I have worked to own it, in an attempt to make sense of myself and why I am like this. Reining in an aberrant trait and defining myself by it.
He gestures to the god-awful robot mess, then flexes his hand. The blood has coagulated since you two started talking. He stares at it.
This way of thinking may not always be a good thing, however. Certain habits are difficult to break. Though there are loopholes in every rule, I often lose track of which regulations I actually enjoy following, and which I just do not know how to disregard. At least with this hobby, all the stakes are under my control, with no chance of others getting hurt.
Unless they haphazardly zap in between your fight looking for friendship, that is. His smile is broken and rigid as it was the first time, but it feels different, backed by the rough warmth of his laugh.
Yes. Do not do that again. Next time you will zap to the front door, and Arthur will let you in.
Next time, you think. You smile, and you smile back.
Well, that was easy.
Wow.
Excellent victory. Lamau.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
story.
Let's go, buddy. That was actually pretty quick and painless.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
nothing will be as painful as Vriska.
Yeah. So, but like that was almost like painkiller for what came before. Like that was good, right?
Hey.
Terezi is also very good.
I'm gonna take
Susie.
Yeah.
You take the narrative.
It's a cool, breezy evening. Violet leaves crunch under your feet as you stroll casually through a dense and inviting forest. Not an environment you're used to on this planet, that's for sure. You should be lapping up the serenity like a thirsty dog at a Zen fountain. Instead, you're brooding. So many new friends, and all of them a special breed of sad. You don't like seeing sad people, so you've done everything in your power to fix them. Slumber party, matchmaking, throwing a giant spider into a volcano. The smiles of your new friends greet you with are all the proof you need that you've been doing good work. And yet, you can't help but wonder how much of a difference any of this actually makes. Especially on Alternia. You've gathered that even if one of these kids avoids being murdered by an insectoid eugenics robot, they'll just wind up being conscripted into a lifetime of military service under a colonial empire. Which makes it
really hard to believe in that inducing a few bouts of revelatory catharsis will ultimately amount to much.
Revelatory. I think you said relevatory. But you know what? I could be wrong.
I don't remember.
I'm
It's a
stupid. Don't worry
depressing
about it.
thought, and you're not entirely sure what to do with it, which is why you've come out. Which is why you came out here. Nothing better for the soul than a nature hike, right? Maybe after a nice long walk, you'll come out right as. Hey, is that a treehouse? Ouch.
Ouch is right. Oh wait, I can't do. I almost forgot. Let me try to remember how Drizzy was.
Pull your voice back in your throat and like.
Ah, I almost had it earlier today.
Try to bring your
Ouch! No, it wasn't
like
that. It was
muscular.
kind
You
of
gotta,
like joke. It was.
Gotta pull it up.
Fuck. Man, I almost did this earlier, and I was like thinking, shit. Now I'm put on the spot, and fuck. What was it? Joker. Fuck.
Yes, Batman.
Yes.
Batman.
Ouch is right, criminal.
Great. More shenanigans. You won't lie and say the prospect of making friends with a spooky shark and this glaringly red pair of shades isn't appealing, but criminal doesn't leave a great taste in your mouth. When you try to move, well, you don't. You guys are tied to a chair. Strike 2 on the bad taste scorecard. Probably shouldn't stick around for strike 3. In a moment of uncharacteristic self-preservation, you close your eyes and attempt to zap away. But you can't. Your head hurts and your vision is still kind of hazy, which might imply brain damage on account of your surprise winging. With your luck, that probably means your superpowers are permanently broken. Typical. Looking up at your captor again, you can't help but thinking the specs are a bit extra. What kind of loser wears big angular sunglasses like that anyway?
You'd certainly be one to judge if you had the legal authority to do so. A fashionable dress like that, with blood as deliciously red as yours. The hypocrisy on you stinks like a fragrant pus.
Gross. Jeez, what's up with these aliens and their hang-ups about blood?
Hang-ups. Gallows humor for an admirable quality. Is an admirable quality.
Admiral!
But such crowd-pleasing theatrics will not spare you from the full weight of the law.
Oh my god. I like her sprite. That's nice. A bizarre tableau unfolds before you. Stuffed dragons and benches, big angry monster, empty noose dangling next to a window. Looks like you just wandered into a courtroom drama. Much to your relief, your kidnapper isn't a shark, and you have to admit the glasses do come together in the ensemble. But it is instead a short, stocky troll girl in a short-sleeved turtleneck and a pair of garish red Crocs. What are those? The fashion on this one is staggering, especially with the... Is that a sword cane with a dragon's head?
It is, because I'm blind and cool. But make no mistakes, I don't need eyes to smell how guilty you taste.
Gitly. Wow. Is every sentence that tumbles out of this troll's mouth going to be weird and uncomfortable?
Yes.
Yes. But enough from you, cherry cheeks. Its honorable tyranny will be... tyranny will be only tolerate so much banter before holding you in contempt.
You might be developing some contempt yourself, if you're being honest.
Well, unless you want to be squeezed until your organs burst from your eyes, you can the back talk and let the prosecution get to work.
Is that what being held in contempt means? Fine. You guess he'll be polite and stop interrupting. Sigh.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Alright, now that we have the preamble out of the way.
There's a ding from her computer, and her posture immediately switches from confident to frustrated.
Hold on.
She strides over to her husktop, tapping the gleaming edge of her cane in front of her as she goes. You don't know what kind of miraculous accessibility contraptions exist on this planet that a blind person can just use. Is she licking the monitor? Yes.
Nah.
She's licking her filthy fucking computer monitor, just slathering it up with her teal-tinted saliva, going at it like a husband greeting his war wife after 20 years at sea.
Sorry, give me a second.
No problem, you say. Not like you're going anywhere. Huh. Okay, she's distracted. Now would be a great time to go somewhere. Your powers still seem to be on the fritz, but you think the weight of your incredible ass might just shatter this chair if you can get some leverage.
Oh my god, this is the poll?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait it out or get some leverage.
Wait it out or shatter it with your ass.
Use the full frontal momentum of that dank ass to get that chair broken. Yeah, baby girl.
What?
Oh, I can put ass pull. I can put ass pull as the
Ass pull! Let's go!
Why is it I can't use coward, but ass pull is
Ass pull.
damn. People don't want to use the ass. Oh, wait. We might be getting an ass pull. Wait. Oh, okay. Lulu loves ass, so get some leverage.
Lamau.
Busy.
You lean forward onto your feet, take a deep breath, and then hop backwards as hard as you can. It worked! You scramble out of the broken chair as your captain turns toward you.
What the fuck?
You try to run, but the rope is still around your legs and has other plans as you trip. Try to catch your weight and fail. Just sort of let momentum carry you out, carry your vaudevillian tumble. Wait, what the fuck? I'm gonna try that again. You try to run, but the rope is still around your legs, has other plans as you trip. Try to catch your weight, fail, and just sort of let the momentum of your vaudevillian tumble carry you across the room. You slam into your captor and send both of you flying out the window. Oh, this is way higher than you thought. You grab onto her and pray for dear life. Hey, you're not falling. That's a relief. You congratulate your agile friend on her quick reflexes and grabbing hold of... Oh. Oh no. You've heard of a hung jury, but this is ridiculous.
Oh no! Oh no!
The prosecution rests in peace.
Well,
Christ.
we are going for the gallows humor. Okay, I guess we're waiting it out.
Wait it out.
You decide it's best to wait this out. The sword and noose are a bit worrying, but with the plush toys and chalk drawings, it strikes you as this is Probably the closest thing Alternia has to a tea party, which would be adorable if it weren't so depressing. Playing along seems like a prime
Oh shit! I'm sorry.
motherfucker.
I really
Right?
need to take my finger off of the trigger.
Motherfucker, just take your hand off the trigger. Playing along seems like a prime friend-making activity. Besides, ever get hurt in a court of law?
Never got hurt in a court of law.
After a few
Russ.
Yes, Lulu. What would
know
you
that-
like to say?
I know that that's a hard like a hard word for some people, so I'm just saying it up front. Brusque.
No, I already knew.
Oh, okay.
After a few brusque keystrokes, she strolls back into her place in the center of the room.
Not a word in half a sweep, and now she won't shut up.
You ask who she was talking to.
Just some dumb, angry girl who needs to leave me alone until the heat death of the universe. Who even cares anyway? Not me, that's who. Where were we?
Crimes?
Crimes. You're here today to face the heights of justice under my authority as Premier League. Wait. League?
Premier League.
Yeah. League affiliated legislator in training of His Honorable Tyranny's Court. And it's with the said authority that I accuse you of the most grievous of crimes against the empire of her imperious condescension.
Uh-oh. What crime could that possibly be? Breaking and entering? Dubbing with a clown? I guess she could technically nail you down as accomplice to murder, but...
The crime of existing.
What? You're waiting for the other shoe to drop, but the damn thing just seems to be stuck up there. What did she say about being in training? You're beginning to wonder if this, what did she call it? Slaylicer? Prosecutioner? Public Dexter Petitus? You're beginning to wonder if this murder lawyer actually knows what the hell she's talking about.
No, it's more of a
You think I'm making this up? Do I really look like the kind of girl who would randomly commit unprompted and unjustified murder on a whim?
Look, you've met some weird fucking trolls on this planet, and they all seem to have a pretty laissez-faire attitude about murder, so...
No, you know what? Fine. If you're going to be pedantic, snub, little wiggler about it, I'll just recite the whole fucking law verbatim. Article 5, subsection 11, paragraph 68 of the second new codes of Alternian jurisprudence describes your crime
Wait.
as...
Sorry, that's jurisprudence.
Jurisprudence describes your crime as having been or possessing the capacity to be in need of a material resource consumption for the purpose of curtailing biological expiry existing in, of, around, and through imperial territory as one of the unclassifiable sanguination mutant, one of the extrasolar origination alien, or one of who plans to commit, has committed, or may be possess the capacity to commit high crimes and fish demeanors against her imperial condescensions criminal. Happy now?
Dang, this girl really knows her stuff.
Of course I do. I'm not some fly-by-lunicycle troll slaughter consultant. I'm a fucking professional.
Clearly, how could you question her expertise on the subject of what is and what is not technically a crime when there's so many books piled up haphazardly? You definitely are existing as an alien after all, and you guess that does by definition make you a criminal. And from the look of that noose, you doubt the punishment is something as quaint as being thrown in the slammer. So, is there an appeals process, or... She springs forward with a surprising agility and presses her face right up against yours, sniffing you with alarming enthusiasm.
Your game of candied apples candied
Candied
apple.
apple ignorance.
Your game of candied apple ignorance may convince the pan-scrambled clown fuckers in the cheap seats, but I smell the deception dripping off of you like a delicious marmalade. You'll have to do better than this if you really want to... Can I make this dress?
Oh, look, and out! Yeah, you say, you and her are great friends. The best, in fact. In fact, you think she should message Kanaya right now to clear this all up? You know, like a character witness?
I've witnessed your character plenty, and it's as bland as they come.
Rude.
Hmm.
Hmm? That's certainly not the worst contemplative noise you've ever heard.
I may have misjudged you. If you tell anyone I said that, I'm going to cut off your arms and use them to finger paint bulges on your face until you bleed to death.
You decide that keeping this pointlessly mundane secret is definitely in your best interest. So, does that mean you're free to go?
Not so fast. May have implies possibility, not certainty. Maybe Kanaya gave you this dress because she likes you, or maybe you pressured her into it circumstantially. Maybe you're a delightful, clueless, and well-intended interloper from beyond the stars. Or maybe you were sent here as a sleeper agent to learn all of our weaknesses so that the entities controlling you can sabotage our future. In cases such as these, I find that the best course of action is to leave the verdict up to chance.
She produces a double-headed coin with one side scratched out, and you immediately know exactly where this is going.
I do. The terms are simple. Heads, I release you from your bonds. Oh. Tails, I release you from being alive.
Is she really about to take you out like a gangster who just betrayed their duality-themed mob boss? Before you can request a last Saturday morning cartoon solution, she flips the coin into the air. Well, this is bad. It's bad, and it kind of makes you angry. This doesn't make sense. You didn't do anything, but here you are with a 50-50 chance of getting murked by a jovial gremlin anyway. Does she think this is normal? Your head is cleared enough that you could zap away if you really tried, but something about this murder lawyer is stuck in your craw. Her devotion to justice is obvious, but it's a twisted and brutal justice. Streamlined for violence and painfully efficient in enabling exactly that. If this mock trial is anything to go by, this is the same system that requires insectoid eugenics robots to keep the peace, after all. There's so much wrong here, and she doesn't even see it. Like, metaphorically. The coin is falling. Every rotation brings you closer to a fate that, regardless of outcome, wouldn't be fair. You decide to think about what should be. Just like that, you're standing next to her. With a scream, you snatch her coin out of the air and hurl it full force through the window.
My coin!
Sorry, you shout. But she can't just expect you to accept the whims of chance when your life is on the line.
Why not?
Because that sucks! It's lame and dumb and... Motherfucker!
I'm sorry.
Then stop doing it. Because that sucks. It's lame and dumb and really cliche. What is she, a comic book villain?
Am I supposed to know what that is?
You don't know. Troll culture seems to have a lot of really arbitrary similarities to human culture, and it's honestly very confusing. But that's besides the point. With a broad sweep of your arm, you gesture at her drawing of the honorary Tyrannosaurus or whatever, and ask what he would think of your little stunt just now.
The trial isn't for him. We act like it is, but everybody knows he's just a big, angry monster.
Huh? Then who?
It's for the audience, obviously. By the time you make it to the stand, you're basically dead already.
Don't the accused get a chance to defend themselves?
Defend! Only the outrageously guilty would ever think to defend themselves in a court of law.
Wow, that's fucked up. What's the point of even having a trial then?
Besides the sheer pleasure of watching all the hope slowly drain from someone's eyes as they confront the immediately approaching and inevitably gruesome execution?
Yeah, besides that.
It's a warning to the sedacious of,
Seditious.
Yeah, sedacious.
Seditious.
Sedition. It's a warning to the seditious of what happens when they cross the line.
And that line is, existing?
Yeah.
Nonchalance of her answer underlines just how upsetting this all really is. You remember the law she recited, and one part in particular sticks out to you. Unclassifiable sanguination. Didn't Karkat try to commit...
Damn it.
Could you fucking stop, for the love of God?
Sorry.
Lulu, stop all tapping out.
Heavy finger.
Hmm.
I'm not it's not tapping. Here, I'll alt tap right now just so you that does nothing.
Whatever, I'm petting my cat.
I'm keeping my finger, where I can on my mouse where I can click. Like a human being.
My hands are off my mouse.
You're not the one progressing the thing.
Susie, continue.
Fine, whatever. Didn't Karkat try to commiserate with you about having mutant blood or something?
You know Karkat too? I kept waiting for him to fuss about the team leaders, but now he won't shut up about this thing he calls a Dave.
Yeah.
Everyone was so worked up about the game, and now they're just over it suddenly.
Yeah, that's your fault. Karkat would probably have a nuclear conniption if he knew you were about to say this, but you ask if she's aware of his blood color.
Of course I'm aware of it. What do you think I am, blind?
Yes.
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 Karkat's a mutant, right? If you can remember correctly, that makes him guilty of the same crime you are. Her expression turns sour, and you can tell this is something she spent a lot of time trying not to think about. You figure she avoided summarily executing you because you're friends with her friends, so she would probably avoid killing Karkat as well. And that's a good thing. Great, in fact. You cannot stress enough how awesome that is. But doesn't that strike her as a bit hypocritical, making exceptions for her friends? Does she think that everyone else who dies at the court gets cold in their own hives deserved? Fuck. Does she think that everyone else who dies at court or gets cold in their own hives deserves what they get just because she doesn't know them personally?
It doesn't matter what I think. This is just how things are. It sucks, but it would suck a lot worse to be killed for saying so. And then who would protect Carcat? Who would protect... I can't help everyone, Cherry Cheeks. I can barely help my friends. Maybe if I stick to it long enough, I can change things from the inside. But that's the best any of us can hope for.
You guess that doesn't sound like the worst plan. In fact, it kind of reminds you of... Starts with a T? What's her name? Who? You feel a sadness well up in your heart so fast and heavy that it knocks you over into her, and without meaning to you. Zap. Your vision is swimming. Voices echo in your head, but you can't pick any of them out. You look around and... something is watching you. Not maliciously, not yet. Just observing from a curious distance. Not that you can do anything about it while you're clutching your head trying to put your memories together. You've been circling around this awful, familiar feeling ever since you left Earth, drawn toward it like a singularity, but the closer you get to it, the less it makes sense.
What the fuck just happened?
Oh my god, she's here.
Did you just kill me now? Is this troll hell?
Troll hell? Do trolls not have an actual name for it? Wait, she's here too?
Here seems like an ambitious description. It's more like an ambiguous nexus of metaphysical realities.
That's an awfully specific description. Has she been here before?
No, but I've tasted places like it in my dreams.
Great! Even more shenanigans!
Yay!
You look around and try to get your bearings, but nothing seems to be in focus. It's all too low resolution, simultaneously too bright and too dark to make sense of.
You okay over there, Cherry Cheeks? Your blood smells really loud right now.
You wouldn't know how to react to that even if you weren't having a memory-induced thought seizure. Pieces are too far apart, and you can't quite put it together, but you remember... friends? Bits of memory hit you. Sudden flashes of joy, of violence. Smiling faces, crying faces. Bodies. Plans. Hope that the world could be made into a better place.
What the fuck are you mumbling about? If you fried your think pen, at least let me in on what it did, in on it, so I can participate.
You tell her what you can remember, which isn't much. Friends, sadness, dissatisfaction. People who were deeply unhappy with the state of Alternia and faced violence from all sides, just as your new friends do today. Some of them wanted to change it from the inside, and you remember believing that they could. But then you get the sense that a lot of time has passed between now and then, and it doesn't seem like Alternia has gotten much better. In fact, it looks like it may have gotten worse.
Shit. Fuck.
No, it's fine. It's
Okay.
fine.
Okay. Yeah, you got it. Cool. Good. All right. Cool.
Your shenanigans are starting to annoy me.
I'm not shenanigansing.
I'm not.
It seems like whatever it was your friends tried to do, they failed.
Of course they did.
What does she mean by that?
Even in this context of your nonsense time-traveling amnesiac cover story, it's not hard to believe. Compelling idiots have good ideas all the time. That doesn't change the fact that they're idiots. Which is why I'm going to succeed where everyone else had their entrails ripped out by a swarm of drones and died like the scrubs they were. I am many things, Cherry Cheeks. An idiot isn't one of them.
She flashes a bright and pointed smile, filled with the confidence that you believe with every atom in your body. But you're probably pretty sure she's not the first person to make you feel that way. Idiots or not, the friends you used to have were just as sure of themselves then as she is now. And what good did it do? Honestly, you doubt that intelligence or competence has much to do with it at all. You think about the drones you barely avoided at Karkat's Hive and your brief exposure to what this planet calls a criminal justice system. For as violent and unjust as things could be on Earth, at least there was some pretext that the system existed to serve the people. Ah! Right. Here it's just murder. You aren't sure that's a system anyone can salvage. Your smile melts into a frown, and you really should ask what this troll's name is.
Terezi Pyro.
Terezi doesn't sound particularly happy. As she slumps against a debatably extant wall and slides down into a crouch, her face is a mask of barely contained emotion.
I can tell why Karkat would like you. You're very depressing.
Rude. You chuckle and sit down a respectable distance away from her. You definitely don't mean to be depressing, but you have a knack for digging up drama. The hazards of forming new friendships, you guess.
If Briska saw us right now, she'd nervously laugh herself into an aneurysm.
Terezi knows Vriska?
That's one way to put it. We were practically sisters before she broke the rules and ruined everything. How do you know her?
Oh, you know, played some flarp, killed some kids, felt guilty about it, threw Vriska's mom into a volcano.
Wow, you really have gotten it around. What's a mom?
She's doing. Fuck
I don't
you.
question. No, that's great. No, fucking, that's great.
I love it. You'd think that was about the saddest thing you ever heard get said if you didn't already know what Eleusis was.
You killed her, Lucius?
Yeah.
So she's... That explains why she's been messaging me.
Terezi is laughing, but it doesn't sound like any laughter you've ever heard.
I can't fucking believe it! Circuit figures her shit out just in time for me to have my own identity crisis. And I bet she thinks everything's supposed to be fine between us now just because. Want to know a secret, Cherry Cheeks?
Might as well add another to the pile, you say.
I have no idea what I'm doing. Never have, and now I don't think I ever will.
Wow, that's bleak. You guess you're sorry?
It's not your fault. You just haven't told me anything I don't already know.
Her lips are trembling as she reaches behind her and pulls out a box of chalk. And then,
Oh, fuck.
motherfucker, by Allah, I will beat you with a shoe.
No. Hey, Fox News, how's it going?
And then removes a red piece. You think this is a weird time for artistic expression, but... Oh, she's eating it. Tracy offers you a piece. You don't want to be rude, but you also really don't want to eat chalk. She shrugs and crunches on it like an unshelled lobster. You guess you have to take that in stride. The more important thing is that Terezi is inconsolably sad, which sucks, because you're the only person in a position to console her.
I was wondering if we were going to get another one, but I guess we do. Egg. Yeah, Jadowski. Well, it has... Something has to come from that. Though sometimes it means you ignored Vriska and you didn't want to play her fucking game. But then again, the only time you can meet Vriska and get away from it is the one where she talks and talks, and you remember the bad times, and then the spider. So the only good way of going through the Vriska thing is to just ignore her and not play her game. Amazing. Amazing, right?
What?
Don't worry, I'm just talking to chat.
No, just even out of context, it didn't make sense.
No, the only way for you to not go... Where do I put this? Okay, nobody voted in the poll because whatever, so give her a distraction. The only way to meet Vriska or to go through an entire plot and be happy in the Vriska timeline is to not meet Vriska. That way you don't have to listen to her pity party.
Ah, yes. The victim route. I remember. You were there last night. It was awful.
Yeah.
You heave out a mournful sigh. Alternia is a meat grinder, fine-tuned to pulverize anyone who tries to gum up the works. Maybe there's something to be done, but you don't think either of you are going to be the ones to do it.
Fuck.
Yeah. Why bother, right? She's probably doing just fine without me anyway.
When you look over to her, you see she's doing her very best to hide her tears. That's no good. Maybe lost in the cynical ennui of political burnout, but that doesn't mean you can just sit by and watch your new pal descend into abject disarray. What the two of you need is a distraction.
Hello, Purple Fago 18, and thank you for the follow.
What you need is a clown. You grab Terezi's hand and think the happiest, honkiest thoughts you can muster. And just like that, zap. You're right there in the living room with your dear friend Gamzee. What a sight for sore eyes this jovial cut-up of drug-addled juggalo.
Yay. Yes, there is.
What the fucking motherfucker?
With a comical slowness, he dive bombs away from you and over to his couch and into a pile of horns. Chaotic honk cacophony sends Gamzee into a chorus of screams. You elbow Terezi. Smell that? How could she possibly think about the crushing impossibility of making the world a better place, and this fella's over here acting like such a fool?
Hello, TK.
Her frown is unwavering as Gamzee clambers back up to his feet.
That was a righteous motherfucking miracle what just gone all up and did in front of me. Got me scared gonk-wise right into the horn pile, my brother. It's a real good thing I'm tripping the Cyclone Dustic right now. Otherwise, my pump biscuit might have flipped turnaways hard enough to make me be all violent on the motherfucker.
His smile is nothing if not cordially unhinged.
Hey, Gams.
Terezi? Well, fuck me all situationally up. What it do, my sister?
It do too much.
Shit, man. That's some bad news to hear. Now that I'm all up at you motherfuckers, you seem pretty hellaciously burdened, lacking the soul what we have.
You agree that you do all have souls, probably. That's the answer he's looking for, right?
If I have a soul, it's a tar-tasting slime stuck on the bottom of a ground pusher covering.
You mean a shoe?
Whatever.
Well, I don't know what you two hoes have scribbled down on your planners for tonight, but if it's the world what has you weary-eyed, methinks that you should be getting to have your think pans all up into some pie pans, my mans.
That's not a bad idea. What better distraction from the dystopic nightmare of Dalturnia than the warm, comforting embrace of hallucinogenic drugs? Terezi seems momentarily unsure, like some sensible part of her is desperately begging her to do literally anything else.
It,
Sorry, I'm just casually eating a pizza.
Stop eating the pizza.
I was hungry, sorry. She plops down on the couch with determination, sinking into it like a sack of disillusioned potatoes.
That is directly the noise that I like to hear.
Gamzee slithers down next to her and puts an arm over Terezi's shoulder. She tenses up, but doesn't push him away.
What about you, Miracle Themster? Do you want to be getting all in with this?
Yes. He pats the seat next to him with a delightful grin. You think you feel the same tug of reason Terezi felt, but you'll be damned if you pretend to have more sense than a lawyer. Besides, you're having a hard time imagining anywhere you'd rather be in the arms of a fragrant clown. Mood. He puts an arm around your shoulders as you sit and try to make yourself comfortable.
Ain't this just the coziest motherfucking snuggle sesh there ever was?
You see Terezi sniff at an open, half-empty Fago bottle before taking a big swig.
Pass me some of that wicked elixir, my sister.
Gamzee takes his own demure sip, gargling as he sucks from the bottle. By the time he passes it to you, you're pretty sure it's more backwash than Fago. Which is still more Fago than none, you guess. It is, without a doubt, the most vile combination of taste and viscosity you've ever put into your body, but hey, at least you're not thinking about politics. As you toss the empty bottle into the ground, already lost in stupefied haze, you glance over at your new pal Terezi. She doesn't look happy, but at least she doesn't look sad. Goal accomplished, you guess?
Wasted.
I'm not sure if that's victory or not.
Yeah,
It's given us the bad end music.
Oh. Huh. Oh no. Okay, I guess we're giving her a hug then.
You don't know how to fix this. You don't know how to make Terezi feel better. The best you can think to do is put your arms around her. Despite the fact that you're a complete stranger who basically just kidnapped her, she welcomes the embrace.
I hated her for what she did. Not to me, but to our friends. All but went to war over it. After our truce, we cut ties. My hope was that she would avoid hurting anyone else. But deep down, I knew I would have to kill her eventually. In the name of justice. She did terrible things, but so did I. We did some of them together. Why wasn't I culpable? Why did I blame her for something we did to each other?
I think it's regrettably natural to blame the person in front of you when you get hurt. Especially when the real problem.
Oh, fuck.
Alright, I mean the rest of this small press. Especially when the real problem is too big and esoteric to stab through the chest, like with a sword cane.
Vriska did what she did because she had to. So did I. We both deserve the revenge we wrought on each other. But we're all victims of the big picture. Society. It made us what we are, ensured we would do what we did. Every little injustice started there. And when we fight, whoever painted the picture smiles and laughs. Because they know they've already run.
She sits up a little straighter, and you feel your spine almost follow on. And you feel your spine follow suit almost on its own.
Fuck that!
Terezi slips out of your arms and stands up, pulling you to your feet with her. Her entire demeanor has changed. She's practically vibrating with determination.
Take me to Vriska's hive. I'm assuming that's a thing you could do.
Oh, yeah, that's the thing you can do. Your mind is still buzzing, but talking to Terezi has calmed that storm just enough for you to focus. As you take her hand, you spare a last look around this bizarre, impossible space. You still feel watched, but it's distant now. Maybe even approving? You have so many questions, but those will just have to wait. Right now, you've got work to do. Zap. Before you even see where you've landed, Terezi marches up to a very surprised Vriska and backs her against the wall. She stops just a few feet away, looking up at the cerulean spider girl with anger on her face. Despite their difference in stature, Vriska is intimidated? You caught her off guard, and Terezi is unflinching. This is completely not like Vriska at all, Lamau. The room is completely silent. You see Terezi clenching her fists. She looks one wrong move away from unleashing hell. This isn't quite what you had in mind when you brought her here, and you really hope your new friends aren't about to fight each other. Something in the air changes. You aren't entirely sure what's happening, but something is definitely happening, and you figure it's best to just cross your arms and pretend you don't exist. Teresa's posture softens. Her hands relax as she breathes a soft sigh. Vriska straightens up, letting her own tension dissipate. You guess you're feeling a little less tense yourself?
I,
When Vriska cracks a hesitant smile, Teresa leans back. She's sniffing the air intensely, which feels like a good sign. Everyone's getting a little looser, a little more casual. Definitely an improvement. Then they both just start cackling, slapping their knees like they've just heard the most hilarious knock-knock joke in history. You'd sure like to get in on the joke, but you figure it would be rude to ask. It will. And then they hug. You're not exactly sure what just happened, but you figure hugging is a powerful platonic friend activity, even in the worst of times. It's gotten you this far, after all. Yeah, that's all this is. Just two gal pals hugging it out. It's so sweet that even you could cry. When they separate, Terezi meanders over to a window overlooking a pit where Vriska's Lucis used to live.
So she's dead.
Oh yeah, I'm real broken up about it too.
Vriska winks at you.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
Vriska, no. Terezi turns and leans up against the windowsill.
You have a lot to make up for.
That's why I've been messaging you. I want to apologize, okay?
I don't want your apology, Vriska. I have a lot to make up for too.
There's definitely something. There's definitely some kind of something going on in this room that you're completely oblivious to. You wonder what went down between these two. I'm stuttering real bad. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying anything.
You wonder what went down between these girls that they can't even talk about what they're talking about.
What do you mean?
There is so much injustice in the world. Every drop of deliciously innocent and painfully extracted blood on this planet is just paint for the fishy fucks up top to play with. And the worst part of that, we're complacent. We revel in it even. I reveled in it.
Terezi, are you...
They can never make this violence good, so they had to make it fun. And I had so much fun hurting people. Who knows how long I would have gone on like that if I hadn't been for our weird invasive species of friend here.
Terezi wipes a tear from her cheek and smiles at you. And you feel a huge wave of relief. Friends with a former murder lawyer in training. You sure know how to pick them.
For once, Vriska, I want to revel in something good. I just want to feel like razor edge of their own injustice. I want their blood to stain the dirt beneath my feet, like the pathetic wriggling insects they are. But I can't do it alone. I don't want to do it alone.
You watch as Trezzy takes a measured breath. For just a moment, you can imagine her standing in a room of determined people, just behind the person everyone else would call leader, smiling a wicked smile. She's not the one who commands the stage, you think. She's the one that controls the spotlight.
I, too, measure my breaths.
Hmm.
That's normal, right?
I have no idea what the fuck that even means. She's the one who knows what will happen next.
I'm not sure what we are together anymore, Vriska. I hated you. I've felt a lot of things. What I know is that we are dangerous, and fate seemed determined to make us rivals. It almost sounds fun, doesn't it? We could fight for the rest of our lives if we wanted to. Each the scourge of the other until one or both of us winds up dead. They tell stories about us for a long time. But I don't want that to happen anymore. Do you?
No.
You haven't known Vriska for very long, but this is a side of her you've never seen. I doubt many people have. It's actually really awkward. You should probably go, but your prying curiosity and the desire for interpersonal closure keeps you glued to the spot.
We had the right idea in the wrong circumstances. But this time, I think we can really do something together. So let's try this again. Vriska? Will you be my scourge sister?
Yay!
What's a sister? I mean, yeah, obviously.
Good. Then let's get to fucking work.
Yeah.
Sorry,
They share a look that you can't quite read, but you get the feeling that this was a resounding success. Yay. Please stop making me read.
why aren't you here to
Read?
enjoy this with
No,
us?
no, it's just narrator shit.
I felt like this one was a little bit too long.
Was it?
I don't know, I just felt it. I don't know why. But hey, we're halfway done.
You're enjoying a brisk head-clearing walk in the Alternian moonlight when the plot comes screaming toward you. Literally, you don't even have the time for introspection. You turn your head to see a guy in a wheelchair whizzing down a nearby hill. He's got a phone in one hand, making it difficult for him to control his descent with the other. You quickly rush over in time to see him hit a rock and go flying through the air with an impressive arc. You bring the fallen wheelchair over to him. He stares at you for a second, and then pulls himself back into it with a grunt.
Thank you, weird and ugly alien stranger.
Once he's settled into the chair, you look over the boy you just helped. He's lanky and scrawny, except for his oversized horns, giving the impression of a boy going through a very awkward puberty. His wheelchair is simple and flimsy, and it looks like it's gone through a lot of wear and tear.
Oh, introductorily speaking, I should say that my name is Tavros.
Anyone really quickly. Damn, that's such a basic wheelchair.
Basic. Well, he's a basic bitch, so.
It's also very
Yeah.
boring.
Tavros. As is now usual for you, the name sounds familiar, even though you're not sure of any of your friends' name or mention him by name. You give him a proper greeting and then ask what happened, and he nods toward an old watchtower at the top of the hill.
I was attempting to scale towards the tower to acquire where Fudo spawned, Go Monster. What is named Wolverpine.
Okay, I need to say right now,
Yeah.
they didn't need make it Phytospawn Go.
I know they just
They could have just said it's part of how Phytospawn has always been.
yeah,
They just wanted to like get in
It's-
on that cultural fad thing.
which doesn't make sense because it takes place in the past. But fuck it. It's
Yeah, that's stupid.
It's ranked 8th or mythic triple rare class, which is one of the rarest of all. At least concerning monsters that can be found in lower blooded neighborhoods. But it appears to be tragically out of my reach, no matter how much I believe in my ability to pursue it.
Ugh. You don't know what a Phytospawn is, but maybe you could help? You've wrangled a few monsters in your time.
What?
You know, you could help push him up the hill. Maybe fight some giant horrifying beast. The usual.
Wow, I'm normally expected to do everything myself. Always. The only trolls who offer me help are those who live too far away to actually do anything of consequence. Which is fine. I get it, but it's pretty useless to me. Anyway. No,
What?
I don't want your help. On account of if I could take it, I will be weakening myself and failing to grow as a troll. I'll just have to try again and again and get grievously hurt in the process, probably. Don't worry.
Tavros begins to wheel back toward the hill. You know how this story goes. You'll have to spend your entire evening convincing this poor troll boy that it's okay to accept help from others. You launch into a gentle pitch about how help from a friend can...
Oh, well, if you say so, then I accept your help.
Oh. That was easy. You follow Tavros up the hill. When he reaches the steepest part and his wheels begin to lose traction, you step in behind him to give the little push he needs. The two of you are successful in scaling the hill, and Tavros grins and taps at his phone. Oh, it's a phone game? No real monsters involved? Holy shit, this is new to you. Why make it a phone game? It could just be why wasn't it just
Shut up.
just play Phytospawn. Just play just have Phytospawn be a geo game where you go places to fight monsters. Why do they have to make it a phone thing? Like, I know you guys say it's like, "Oh, they're getting in on the cultural reference," but just make the cultural reference fit the already existing thing, please. I'm sorry. This is a pick, and this is a nit that I am willing to pick to death. Anyway,
Yes, Wolverine is now acquired. Thank you so greatly. Maybe the cartoons for Wigglers were right all along. And friendship is truly the greatest source of power to exist.
finally, someone who gets you. You ask if he wants a quick ride home, and he tilts his head in confusion.
I already have a ride. Always. I'm sitting in it.
Not like that. You tell him it's hard to explain. Just trust you on this one.
Okay, let's go.
With that, you grip his chair and focus your energy, and zap on over to his hive.
Whoa, are you magic?
Yes!
Awesome. Do you know any fairies?
No.
Shucks.
Tavros glances around the room, and you follow suit. Your eyes settle on an advertisement for the theatrical run of Pupa Pan. A pinch of special stardust is all it takes to fly. Brought to you by Her Imperious Condescension's 19th favorite theater company. Reserved seating for high bloods. Hecklers will be cold. The rest of the room is rather plain and sparsely decorated. The floor is scattered with messy gaming supplies.
So, this is my hive. What do you think? Would you characterize this pad as sufficiently cool?
You glance at a framed picture of a fey trickster in booty shorts.
Hell yeah.
Sure, yeah. This pad is cool as hell.
Excellent. I hoped you would. Your approval is most good to have.
Why does it look like there's somebody naked on his laptop?
Because it's a dress. I can tell it's a dress from here. It doesn't look naked.
It's the same color as all the troll's skin.
It's slightly different, and it pudges out.
No, this looks like you've got like somebody doing they're doing a little pose with yeah, no, that looks naked.
No, it has definitely a dress. Like it puffs out.
Wait, hold, what the fuck?
I don't know what you're doing. Improvement.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my! What are you doing?
Holy fuck! Wait,
You stop it!
the scroll wheel actually fucking does something.
Oh my
What?
god!
But it only goes as far as we've already been.
Okay,
So I can go all the way back and then just scroll all the
well that's good. Okay, well click more. Jesus Christ! I thought you might be uninteresting on account of me being boring.
Uninterested.
Uninterested. Well, you're also uninteresting, but fine. I thought you might be uninterested on account of me being boring and kind of sad.
Thanks, you're right. I am uninteresting. Ah, boring and sad kids are your favorite, you tell Tavros. Wait, that sounds terrible. Ignore that. You mean you relish the opportunity to make people less sad.
Oh, don't worry then, because I'm definitely sorrowful enough to satisfy. Also, I'm not great at talking either, so we have at least one point of failure in common.
Thanks? Tavros flashes you a thumbs up and a wink.
Yeah.
He wheels closer to you, and one of his scattered cards crunches under a tread and gets stuck, necessitating a bit of finagling. You must admit, you're a little surprised by the wheelchair. Your experiences in Alternia would suggest that their culture is not very kind to the disabled.
Oh, it isn't. There's a long story behind the fact of me being like this. Kanaya says not to talk about it because it hurts my self-esteem.
Oh, okay. That's fine. You turn your attention to some of his cards. Perhaps he can teach you...
Well, if you insist, I will reveal to you my tragic backstory. I used to be more of a hardcore gamer who would do extreme role plays. And I had a friend, or I thought she was my friend, who I did flarp with.
Oh, you're familiar with Flarp. You're a Pepster chum. Come to think of it, you've got a great Flarp friend who he might love to meet.
Well, I don't play anymore. Because this old friend of mine did a bad thing to me, resulting in a chain of revenge that was very tragical.
Tragical.
Yeah. Essentially, the story is that I was thrown off a cliff, psychically, and became heavily injured, which resulted in my legs not working.
Oh, that's tragical. God, that sounds terrible.
The culprit continues to hassle me sometimes in ways which are supposedly remorseful, but mostly continue to make me feel bad. For instance, trying to make me learn how to climb stairs, or fight better, or telling me I'm useless and awful because I can't. Although she also sent me this four-wheel device, which helps me not to be cold. So that's nice, I guess. Although she wouldn't have done that if Kanaya didn't say to. I don't know. She's hard to understand. Sometimes very nice, and other times extremely not nice. And I can't figure out how she truly feels about me.
Wow. This girl Tavros is talking about seems like a real piece of work. You sure are glad that none of your friends are anything like that.
Yeah, but maybe it's the best not to think about her, actually. Kanaya was right. Why don't I teach you how to play?
Tavros. Tavros freezes up instinctively.
Oh no, that's her. The one who injured me.
Oh no. Your spine ices over. You recognize that telltale exaggerated call. But how can this be? How could your dear, sweet, precious friend, Vriska, have done such a horrible thing to... Okay, yeah, no, this tracks. Maybe she did do one thing wrong. But why? This isn't like the other kids she killed. You know Vriska's violent and volatile.
Mhm.
She had to be to survive.
Mm-hmm.
But to harass Tavros after the fact, instead of just feeding him to her Lussus, it doesn't make sense. You feel sick to your stomach. Hey Tavros, you haven't been answering my messages. We need to talk. Her voice comes from outside the window as it moves around the perimeter of the house. You glance at Tavros' stricken face as you hear the sound of keys jingling in a lock. Fuck. She has the keys to his hive? Tavros groans and leans back in his chair. Vriska barges into the respite block and then freezes up. Oh, hey. Hey, you say with an awkward wave. Vriska seems uncomfortable. I didn't know you knew this dork. It's a friendship in progress. Tavros has told you some things about their past together. Of course he has. Okay, listen. I know it sounds bad, because it is, and I get that, okay? Way back then,
It was less than a sweep ago.
I was part of a flarp campaign that went way off the rails, and Tavros ended up getting thrown off a cliff. It was basically my fault. But that's all in the past now. Things are better now. I hooked Tavros up with his sweet wheelchair and everything.
It's not that sweet.
Shut up, Tavros. I'm talking about how terrible I feel about hurting you. Tavros cringes, and you try to intercede on his behalf. Why is Vriska here? Oh, right. I'm here to extend an olive branch. Very magnanimously so, if you ask me. Terezi and I are getting the band back together. Not for Flarp, obviously. That ship has sailed. But we're gonna whip this planet into shape, and we need all the help we can get. You've spent enough time moping around uselessly. It's time for some action. You're in, right?
No?
What do you mean, no? Wait, why is her hand Thanos gauntlet now?
Oh, it's been doing that.
Yeah, but why is it the Thanos? Why has it been the Thanos gauntlet, and I never noticed that it's literally just the Thanos gauntlet?
You mean the
What's it called
king?
again? The Infinity Gauntlet.
You mean the King Kong gauntlet?
It literally looks the same.
I
It's
know.
got like a bunch of things where the knuckles are at. Oh my gosh. What do you mean, no?
I mean, I don't really want to do anything exciting or dangerous like that. And especially because you're going to be involved, I don't think it would be good for me to also be.
Oh, come on. Things are totally square between us, Tavros. We all got hurt. Besides, I'm just trying to help you live up to your potential. You could be somebody. You could finally start living up to your legacy.
I don't want to be somebody. At least not your kind of somebody.
Tough luck, Toreador. None of us get that choice. If nothing changes by the time your rites of maturation roll around, you're screwed. The drones will cull you in an instant. Vriska turns to you. Her eye is wide, her fist trembling. Her frustrated glare barely conceals the desperation beneath. Wow, the sprite does not match.
Oh.
I mean, you
really
agree with
doesn't.
me, right? Tavros needs to shape up. He needs us. It's time we put the past behind us and moved on. Just trying to help him. She leans closer. It's obvious she wants you to back her up.
Wow, there's actually 3 here. Holy
I'm gonna go and get a strawberry milk tea.
I thought you were going to say you're going to go get a piss.
I'm going to go and get a piss
Sip the fuck
and
bees.
leave a drink in the process.
Well, while you're doing that, then chat
This is
can
not a
voice.
beverage.
Chat vote. You gotta vote. You gotta vote, chat. You gotta pick. Pick whatever. Do we do nothing? Tavros or Vriska? I will not. I will not change my phrasing on that. What do, chat? What do? If you don't pick anything, then I will definitely make a choice that will reflect your inaction. Well, damn, actually, fine. Oh god. Damn, doing the Trezzy thing has, of course, made like fucked up my throat a little bit. Just like any hero, you should do nothing. Wow. Oh, that does seem like what it's going to be then. Okay, we're doing nothing. Well, of course, you know, we have to wait for Lulu to get back. Ah, God. Whew. Can't really do anything. Bop a dop a dop bop. Dop a dop a dop bop. Let's see, is there anything
I have returned with
Oh,
my
yeah.
drink,
Okay.
Xaver and Stussy.
Okay, so we're not taking a side, so we're not doing anything.
Oh,
Inactions. Fence
Huh.
sitting.
okay. What do you think you are, a centrist? This is a choice-driven narrative game, and that obviously means having to choose between 2 equally unsatisfying, mutually incompatible options, which will forever alienate you from the side you did not pick. Try again.
Hey, you're not Disco Elysium.
We love Disco Elysium in this house.
What, can
It
you
is a
actually just not
shame
take a
that-
side
No.
in Disco Elysium?
There is a thing about if you make certain options within of it. I mean, I've never played the game. I'm just going by what
I
I've
have.
heard. If you just like kind of like
You can
fence
choose to
it,
be a fascist.
you
You can also choose to be a communist or an art major.
but like if you fence it,
copper
you
Israel.
basically become a centrist.
Okay.
That's the moralist thing, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah. The moralists are, bad. Cough.
All of them, like it takes the piss out of everything, but at the same point in time,
Not true. It doesn't take the piss out of everything, but it does put its own little spin on it. Though it does make fun of a lot of things, yeah.
okay,
Play the game before you talk about it, numbnuts.
sure.
So, are they making a choice?
No, they're refusing again. But everything I've heard about it has been like they kind of like take the piss out of everybody. I'm just basing upon what I've heard. It's constant. Wait, conscience's abstention. Fine. God damn it, we're siding with Tavros.
All right. We're siding with Tavi. You take a step closer to Tavros, and Vriska visibly deflates. Come on, cunty.
What?
Oh, right. Right. That's the name that we gave ourselves. We're cunty.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot
Cunty
about-
McGee!
No, just cunty. You can't seriously be on his side. Yes, you can be. And you are. You think you understand now. You see how Vriska took her suffering and bitterness and passed it along. You see now, under beastly tutelage, she learned to sink her fangs into her prey and tell herself she was doing it for their own good. If these two you see in a microcosm of Alternia, of hurt kids hurting kids, until finally the buck stops at the kindest or weakest among them. So, no matter how much sympathy you have for her, you can't stand idly by and let Vriska continue this cycle of hurt. You tell Vriska to look at Tavros, really look at him, and ask herself if her help has done anything for him. Isn't this the kind of suffering that she and Terezi want to prevent? Right now, the best thing she can do for Tavros is to leave him alone. Leave him alone? You don't get it. None of you do. If I leave him alone, he's toast. Seriously, how have you not figured that out by now? You've seen what this planet is like. You think we can just flip a switch and fix everything over day? He's a worthless loser, living in a world that hates losers. And if that doesn't change, he's gonna die a sad, pathetic death. And you and Kanaya and everyone else, you're just enabling him. When he croaks, it's gonna be on your head, not mine. So if you'd rather hang out with Tavros in his make-believe fairyland, be my guest. But some of us are still gonna be living here in the real world. You and Vriska spend a while staring at one another. All you can muster is a look of pity, which only seems to incense her further. Her face scrunches up, and then goes steely and flat. Her voice is icily calm.
Then she turns into a furry.
You two have your fun. I'm out. Vriska slams the door shut as she leaves. Tavros exhales a long sigh of relief.
Well, that went pretty well for an encounter with Vriska, all things considered. I only feel somewhat terrible about who I am.
Wow. What a fucking blessing! Slowly, gently, you place a comforting hand on Tavros' shoulder and tell him that he deserves better than this. It's not his Tavros. Or it's not his fault. Vriska is
He deserves
difficult.
better.
Huh?
No, I just hate Tavros. Sorry.
He deserves better than this. It's not his fault. Tavros is difficult. I'm sorry, Vriska is difficult.
Yeah, Kanaya says that too. I sometimes almost believe her when she does.
The room is silent except for a faint wriggling noise coming from some of the balls on Tavros' floor. You don't know what else to say.
Would you enjoy playing some Phytospawn with me, perhaps? As a manner of distraction.
Oh, fuck yes, you tell him. Let's spawn some... Fidu? Phytuses? Yeah. Your FLARP experience inured you to Alternian games design. So you're only mildly nauseated when Tavros shows you the physical version of Phytus, or how Spidus... shows you how the physical version of Phytospawn works. Chitinous purple critters explode from gooey orbs and infest plushies before bursting out in the form of large monsters with more limbs than you're comfortable with. Also, you have a handful of cards which boost their attributes or allow you to interfere with your opponent's monsters. There's a lot to keep track of here. That doesn't sound like a lot. Before too long, the room is full of chittering purple monstrosities and queasy-looking host plushes on the verge of birthing even more abominations. You are so lost. But you think you're winning? Your creature appears to be doing a better job of preying on his host plushes and spawning more of themselves. You've got a meter in the corner that keeps going up while his goes down. That's good, right? You think it's good, at least where victory is concerned. But you are more concerned with the dejected look on Tavros's face. He doesn't seem to be giving the game his all. You ask him if he's doing okay.
No.
Oh, okay. He just came out and said it.
My fun has been stymied, I think. Or stymied. Stymied. But my thoughts about...
Stymied.
Stymied, I think. My thoughts about Vriska.
He wheels himself over to the window and looks despondently outward.
I used to live like Vriska. I used to like... live like... I used to like Vriska a lot, you know. Admire her for many qualities that were good. Such as being very confident or having skills at games. But now I just hate her. Or feel like I should hate her, but instead do not feel those feelings. In their place, I feel very conflicted and bad about myself, and wonder if there's something wrong that I can't feel as angry as I should. Or make myself to become strong enough to talk to her properly about my feelings. It's just a big mess.
You glance again at the posters lining Tavros's walls. Sprightly fairy girls with confident smiles, long messy hair, and blue color schemes. The resemblance to Vriska is uncanny, but superficial. She's never going to be like the girl from his posters. That's just not who Vriska is. But for a sad, hurt boy who lives or likes to dream, she must seem so painfully close. This is a problem too big for you to untangle right now. You need to redirect Tavros's thoughts. You close your eyes and ask your intuition. What should you do?
Hold on. We got another poll. There we go. There's your poll. Please vote. Should he fly or should you clip his wings? Did you clip his wings like they did in that one video game? That video game nobody likes. Damn.
Which one? Which one does nobody like?
Last of Us 2. I just remember the one part of like, I think it was like an E3 one where they just pin Ellie to the ground and say like clip her wings. And that stayed with me. All right, nobody voted. We're clipping wings.
Stay grounded.
Yep.
From the darkness, you reach into your muddled memories and catch a glint of cold iron. When you open your eyes, Pupa Pan stares back at you. He would have you believe that faith is all it takes to fly. But you think Tavros could use something a little more material. You put a gentle hand on his shoulder and ask him what you can do to help him spread his wings. His metaphorical wings, that is. It's not like he could ever sprout real ones. The very thought is absurd. Tavros sighs.
I just wish I could live more independently, I guess. Take charge of my life and become less under Vriska's thumb.
You think Tavros could use some better friends. Real friends.
I do have some. Nepeta is very kind to me often. Yamsy and I like to throw down sick rhymes. And Kanai tried to help with Vriska.
But there's not a lot they can do when we live far away. And as nice as my Lucis is, he's unable to help me with all my issues due to his small size limiting him to only moving and carrying small objects to me when I require them. The simple fact is that I didn't build my hive with the expectation of one day using a four-wheeled device to navigate it.
Can Tavros move to a better hive? Could you help him with that?
No. As a bronze, the stipend I receive is not enough to cover such things. Even this
Stipend, by the way.
even this four-wheeled device, which is highly basic compared to some high blood models, would have cost me over a wipe's worth of savings. Few changes are available to me, economically speaking, especially if I want to not alert drones to my unsuitedness for troll expectations.
You see, if money is the issue, that's not something you can help him with. At least, not directly. But you might know others who can. You tell Tavros that you're going to step out for a moment to fetch a mutual friend. He seems briefly surprised when you return with Kanaya. You guess you don't blame him. This strikes you as a pretty rare pairing, conversationally speaking.
Oh, Kanaya. It's nice to see you in person, unexpectedly. Wow, my hive is terrible looking. Sorry, but hi. You look nice. Yes, I do. How are you faring? Has my advice regarding the construction of an imaginary friend helped aid your self-esteem? Well, I haven't really got to try it yet. So no, it hasn't, I guess.
Kanaya suppresses a sigh.
Okay. Well, let's get directly to business. I've brought some materials which with which to renovate your hive. Oh. Please advise us as to how best to redesign the place to suit your needs.
Tavros's eyes water up, and he sniffs, leaning forward in his chair.
Really? You would do that for me? Despite it taking a large portion of your time and effort? And presumably money as well? I don't really spend my stipend on much besides fabric. And I intend to twist Vriska's arm until she offers a portion of her flarping treasure to foot the bill too. And of course, I do it for you. Any less would be a rejection of my helpful sensibility.
Kanaya says it with a neutral tone and a straight face, as if there's nothing remarkable about it, but Tavros nevertheless breaks into a grin.
Wow, thanks. Okay, give me some time to develop ideas on how to properly jack this hive up and deliver the most utterly dope and pimped up changes. This is going to be so great.
You give Tavros the requested time and then begin the work in earnest. You weren't sure what to expect, but the construction process proves smoother than anticipated. Kanaya brings a set of alien devices which she claims to have borrowed from a sea-dwelling friend of hers. One converts raw materials into a strange substance that reminds you of fruit gushers. Kanaya fells trees with her chainsaw and feeds them into the machine. Before long, you have a trove of the gusher things. The other device expends the gushers to modify buildings. It has a holographic click and drag interface, much like The Sims played in real life. You find this construction software to be incredibly handy, and also eerily familiar. but honestly, you find everything eerily familiar these days.
Yes, it is very convenient. Home construction has been an important part of troll culture for as long as history remembers. Most do not know why, although to me the reason is obvious. Preparation for the game, which we will now no longer be playing due to outside interference.
Wait, she knows about that?
Yes. I figured out what was going on a day or two after you visited me, but I thought it prudent not to get particularly dramatic about it.
That was very thoughtful of her.
Yeah. I try.
Kanaya finishes feeding logs into the first device and begins to manipulate Tavros' hive with the other. Together, you are a clockwork team. Tavros provides directions, Kanaya implements them with her stellar sense of design, and you provide moral support by standing around looking cute.
Okay, yes. And not just self over to the left. Yeah, like that. Wait, actually right. Further, okay, no, go back. A bit more, that's almost good. Now make it a tad higher. Yes, no lower. There, right there, and... Yes, perfect, I think. Okay, actually, can you go back to where it first was?
In the end, it takes until the next day to finish construction, which is actually great time. You were expecting to have to zap forward once or twice for the sake of narrative brevity, but with the Alternian build tools, Tavros' hive is swiftly renovated. It is far more spacious than it once was, with ramps and rails aplenty. Under Tavros' guidance, you widened hallways, lowered counters, revamped bathrooms. It's like a brand new house. You don't have a ribbon to cut in celebration, so Tavros summons some bizarre phytospun creature to shoot confetti all around the entrance to the hive. It's all gross and sticky, and you hate every second of it, but he's having fun. After that, Tavros spends a while just exploring the hive. He wheels himself through each block, awed by the ease with which he can navigate the space. By the time he returns to his respite block, his grin is radiant. You take it. He likes the new place.
Oh, yes. This pad is now genuinely frigid. It makes me feel more confident, like the world is my bivalve jewel container. Like I could say to Vriska, fuck you, I won't do what you tell me, biatch. Okay, I won't say that probably, but I could. Actually, maybe I will say that. As well as plenty of other deliriously rude things which long I have avoided saying.
Okay, that's probably enough, you tell him. Kanaya is staring icily at him, but he doesn't seem to notice. You suggest that it's a good time to settle down. The sun's going to be rising pretty soon.
Right. While we still have some moonlight, would you like to stay around with Kanaya and play some games with us? Oh, no, that's quite alright. I'm afraid I have duties to attend to at home. I left a dress in the oven.
Kanaya blinks and carefully maintains her poise.
It's made out of clay, you see. I'm getting experimental. Oh, that makes sense. Well, goodbye.
She smiles at Tavros and shoots you a pointed glance. You take it as your own cue to place a hand on her shoulder, concentrate on her hive, and send her back in a flash of light. Once she's gone, Tavros wheels up to you and nudges you in the hip.
So, regarding Kanaya, this could perhaps be me misreading the situation, but when I reach deep inside and tap into the marvelous power of the self-esteems, it tells me that I'm very right and smart. Did you see the way she was smiling at me? Almost in a way that suggests amorous inclinations? Eh.
My God, he's so pathetic.
He waggles his eyebrows furiously in your direction. Oh geez. You tell Tavros that's just what friendship looks like. She's not his type. Trust me, you say.
Drat. But, oh well. I think there's a saying about this, that the sea has many fish in it. And now that I'm feeling better, I think perhaps I will one day go fishing for a quadrant or two.
Well, it's a start. It's going to take some time for this kid to figure out what genuine self-esteem is like. But just like the Prospician clouds part to reveal a brilliant sky in blue, you think Tavros is on the verge of seeing the sun. The moon? This metaphor would work better on Earth. Tavros can be more than he is, and he doesn't need to change to do it. When he offers you a smile, there's a spark of compassion behind it that tells you he's already worth the world. All he ever needed was someone to believe in him. And money. He also needed money.
So, would you like to perhaps celebratorily play around it to a fighter spawn with me? I'm feeling much more prepared to enjoy a game, and perhaps think that this time I'll proceed to crush you with my incredible might as a fighter spawn breeder. Except, I mean that in a nice way, like that of a friendly challenge. If you'll accept.
The word friend in that sentence was all you needed to hear.
Hello, Torvar. God.
Hey, I think that's the first one in a bit that we've just not gotten any failures on.
Yeah. I mean, it also helped that the only choice ended up being the centrist option, which looped back onto itself. So, welcome. I figured out Tavros. Okay, so the first one's Cyber Vriska.
You can't resist her force of personality. When Vriska speaks, it just sounds right. You tell Tavros that he should accept Vriska's offer. Hell yeah, see, Tavros? My buddy here agrees. Let bygones be bygones. Tavros shrinks into his chair, small and sad. The two of you just stare at him as the awkward silence swirls like mist around you. Vriska clenches her fist and steps forward, but you quickly put a hand on her shoulder, and she pauses. Being around here is depressing, and someone doesn't want my help anyway. Whatever. Come on, cunty. I've had enough bull for the night. Let's go chill out somewhere less boring. Like, I don't know, an arcade? Maybe a movie theater? What do people eat without Ulysses even... Or, what do people without Ulysses to take care of even do? You suggest to Vriska that you can find out. Together. She beams.
Okay. Bye, I guess.
Tavros seems conflicted, as though he can't decide whether to be relieved that Vriska is leaving or upset that you're abandoning him. You don't really care, though. You're going to an arcade.
Friendship +8. But only with Vriska.
Arcades are great.
Okay, Cyber Tavros. And then help him fly.
From the darkness, you reach into your muddled memories and catch a glint of glimmering gold. When you open your eyes, Pupa Pan stares back at you. Unlike him, you don't have special stardust, but you think you might have something better. You tell Tavros you'll be right back. Sort of. The now familiar Prospician spires greet you. You swoop through the shiny architecture until you find those towers that seem to house the dreaming children. Sure enough, Tavros' dream self can be found in one tower, nestled comfortably in a raccoon. You poke him on the cheek. No response. You give him a little shake. Oops. Nothing. With a sigh, you rear back your hand and slap him. Hard. Tavros remains asleep. He's practically comatose. Why? This feels so off. Karkat is awake and Tavros isn't, and something about that is just wrong. It's all wrong. How can you help Tavros under these circumstances? He's got to wake up. He crawls out of the... Wait. Tavros yawns as he rises blearily out of his slumber and squints around. He crawls out of the raccoon and reaches over to the ramp beside it with an instinctual motion. His hands find no wheelchair, and he stumbles over. Then quickly rises, and realizes with a start that he isn't floating, or that he is floating in midair.
Whoa, what?
Surprise, you inform Tavros. Surprise! You inform Tavros that this is the mystical world of dreams that is part of the game he was supposed to play one day, but now isn't going to. Maybe. Probably? You'll be honest, you still don't know exactly how this works. But you do know that this is a land where he can fly.
That seems highly improbable that such a world would exist. Or especially that I would be allowed to enter it and fly freely around with no repercussions. It just seems like a thing that would never eventually happen to me. Does it not?
But it is happening, you tell him. You prove it by pinching his arm. He flinches.
Why did you assault me?
It's a thing. Pinching is... Okay, this is a cultural misunderstanding, but the fact that he can feel pain should prove that this place is real, or at least as real as Magic Dream World can be.
I see. My arm does certainly hurt in a realistic manner, as well as my feelings due to the uncalled for attack from a friendly individual.
Oh, for fuck's sake. You tell Tavros to stop worrying about that and start unworrying about how we can fly now.
Oh, yeah.
With unsteady movements, Tavros begins to circle his dream room. He holds his hands out as he sails around, floating upwards and then dipping down. He seems to get the hang of it quickly, and as he does, his face cracks into a warm smile.
Oh, it feels really amazing.
At your invitation, Tavros follows you out the window and sees Prospect stretching toward him. His eyes go all starry.
Can I really explore all this area?
He can, you tell him. Probably. Just don't go barging into anyone's houses.
Hell, okay.
Tavros does loops and twirls, pirouettes around spires, and weaves through the throngs of Prospician civilians. He hoots and hollers, the anxious crescendo in his voice nearly absent. The sound echoes among the golden towers and rebounds back at you, a cacophony of childlike exhilaration. You swoop alongside him, buoyed by his excitement, and the two of you begin to race around each other and the planet. Wait, blah. The two of you begin to race each other around the planet. You run out of energy before Tavros does, but eventually he comes down from his high. He floats lazily beside you, upside down, his mohawk hanging down into his face. His eyes are locked on the sky and clouds, and he is wearing a wide, if oddly blank, grin.
Hey, I want to thank you for doing this for me, allowing me to feel this freedom and joy. It really means a lot.
You grin and give him a thumbs up. You're glad you could help.
Yeah, me too.
You glance up at the clouds. How long have you been out here? You figure it's probably time to head back to the real world. You tell him you'll teleport back and then wake him up.
What? Oh no! And don't wake me up, please. I don't want to go back to that life. Oh, and I can't spend my days here, forever feeling blissful and happy for once.
You pause. That's not the response you were expecting, although you suppose you should have seen this coming. What about his friends? His responsibilities in the waking world? What happens when the drones come knocking?
Well, those are some pertinent questions which I don't care about, though. This is where I'm happy and where I belong. That's what you wanted, right? To help me be happy?
Right.
Then your work here is done.
He smiles at you, and you feel like you should smile back, but there's a hint of sadness behind his eyes. That gives you pause. It's like he's waiting for you to take charge and tell him off for choosing escapism, waiting for you to make the hard decision he doesn't have the guts to make. But that's not the kind of person you are. If he'd rather spend most of his time asleep, that's good enough for you. Given the planet he lives on, you can't blame him. So you give him a little wave and vanish into the ether of canon. By the time he works up the nerve to say something, you're already gone.
Everybody's messaging him. He is asleep. Okay.
It's pronounced Aradia.
Is it?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god. What are you
No,
doing?
I can do this. Just give me a second.
Okay.
What are you doing here? What are you doing on this awful planet? You walk. You walk and you don't stop walking. You walk until the moons are high in the sky and the lights from the city all but fade away. You walk until you can't think about anything but walking anymore. And then you zap. Zap, 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 zap. Who cares? You just want out of here. What's happening to you? What are these thoughts? What are these half-remembered truths? Why do all your new friends seem so fresh, but so familiar? You are lost inside yourself for what simultaneously feels like both a moment and an eternity. You stop walking and lay down. The grass feels cool on the back of your head and your eyes. You stop. Oh,
No, you keep going.
your eyes feel so heavy. Sorry, the thing
Oh, yeah.
disappearing.
Mm.
Troll, Jesus Christ. Inches away from your face, someone is bent over you and staring unblinkingly into your eyes. In a single panicked motion, you do a youthful sideways roll and spring to your feet. This doesn't seem to startle her at all. She doesn't move from her precariously balanced squat. She is just looking at you, observing you. Is she waiting for you to do something? After exactly 21 seconds of staring directly at you, she offers an entirely too toothy smile. Part of you suspects she just remembered that's what you do in these situations. She examines you with an obvious curiosity.
Not the worst decision. To nap among the remains of the deceased.
Haha. What? With a sarcastic motion that suggests looking literally anywhere around you, she draws your attention to what appears to be some sort of dig site? You seem to have fallen asleep on a pile of bones. Her skirt is emblazoned with a dark red Aries symbol. Oh, cool. Another Zodiac kid. You must have said Aries out loud because she immediately corrects you.
It's pronounced Aradea.
Aradia.
Aradea.
Yeah, there's Aradia.
Yeah, Aradia. It is pronounced Aradea.
That makes sense. Although you've just met, you cannot fathom her name being pronounced any other way. Your new potential friend, Aradia, is looking a little... What is a polite and charming way of saying rough around the edges?
Fucked up.
Her clothes are a bit shabby, but maybe that's just normal wear and tear when you're hanging out in the dirt all day. What is she doing out here in the dirt anyway?
I come out here to dig up bones.
Oh, like archaeology?
Oh yes, that too. Bones are an important part of the life cycle. You often hear about the beauty of life, but I find that death is just as important and fascinating. The finality of death has a beauty to it. Or it used to.
You want to ask what she means, but it must be written all over your face that She very quickly moves on.
Remains can tell us a lot about our owner's life. How they lived. How they met their end. It's not a little wonderful? Fuck off.
Huh?
Song.
Yeah?
Yeah. The title of the
Yeah?
song is Yes It Is.
Yes, it is. Fossils,
Yeah.
fossils
By James Roach. It's Megalovania.
Fossils represent the finality. A moment locked in time. Is it the physical that remains while the spirit moves on? Everything that made them who they were is gone. When all is said and done, it's only the bones that survive to tell their tale. And in that way, death is sort of perfection, don't you think? They're violent in a sort of peace. Nothing left but the bones.
You've never thought about it that way. In fact, you suspect you may have never thought about anything as much as this girl has thought about bones.
Well, bones are just one of my many interests.
You too. Big bone fan over here.
I see you're also a person of exquisite taste. Ooh.
Well, damn. Oh to you too. Your stomach growls a little bit. Just how long were you out here?
I discovered your body several hours ago. I thought you might be dead, so I was watching you to confirm my suspicions.
She was watching what she thought was a dead body. For several hours.
Yes. On the lookout for early signs of decomposition. Rot, rigor mortis, etc. Unfortunately, you are not completely dead.
Thank goodness for that.
I guess.
Wait, what does she mean completely? There's a moment where her unbreaking, if not somewhat unsettling grin leans more towards normal. Well, okay, someone might describe it as normal if maybe you'd never seen anybody smile before. Like, if you were passing someone in the hallway and they described what a smile was to you and you were like, no, I got this. Alas, you digress.
You are like me. The dead speak to you. You would do well to pay attention. A mantle of doomed souls leashed to you. I wonder just how many times you have died.
Died? Like, bereft of life? She sits down beside you. She picks some sort of rib or femur or pelvis or whatever and begins to idly draw in the dirt. It is a crude drawing of some sort of misshapen stick person. Unrelatable.
Traditionally, yes, that is what dying means. But you are different. I can see the ghosts of all your alternative iterations floating around you, trying to help you. Doomed timelines that have been purposefully erased from your consciousness. But you're a culmination of the choices you've made, fatal or otherwise. You've been forced to leave so much
Oh,
behind
fuck.
you.
Okay, yeah, you got that, but damn. Your memories. Despite the fact she seems very focused on her dirt art, you suddenly feel so seen.
Someone doesn't want you to remember. But
She looks at you and leans in close.
do you want to know a secret?
Wait, did she say ghosts? You're not really following. It sounds kind of fake if you're being honest. Ghosts? Yeah. Okay, you've seen weird shit on this planet, but you draw the planet ghosts. The spooky bit was kind of charming, cool at first, but this is borderline ridiculous.
Oh,
She almost looks hurt. Her tone turns hollow.
how disappointing.
Aradia rises and turns her back towards you. The night air feels cold, which it hadn't before now. Perhaps on behalf of the especially cold shoulder treatment you are getting right now, little bumps form on your skin.
I misjudged you. I thought I could trust you, but maybe you are just like the rest. I'm okay with that. It does not bother me.
She is floating several feet off the ground. Typically, this is your sign not to say, sounds like it kind of does bother you.
Oh. Oh. No, wait, that's not how you spell mouth. Why did I spell it like that? You want to do you want to make sure that her I don't know. I moment was like Jimmy's rustled. Like, Pick your choices, chat. Please. Please, otherwise I'm gonna pick, and then nobody wants me to pick. But then again, we just did Tavros, and picking worked out perfectly that point in time. Don't count good. Sorry, was hell diving. Yeah, I sometimes I wish I could be doing something else during this game. Oh, fuck y'all. Fuck y'all for dying at the very last moment. Jesus Christ. I guess let's go for bad end. Give in. I feel
Okay.
I have a feeling that giving in.
Sounds like it kind of does bother her. Sounds like she probably isn't okay with it. She is silent for what seems like several minutes. Have your words reached her? She turns to you. Her eyes are white and her expression is blank. Her head tilts to the side as if looking at a curious bauble, her face unchanging.
Nothing really bothers me anymore.
Oh, Jesus. No thanks, this secret sucks. Time to fucking go. Sorry you said ghosts were fake or whatever bullshit.
Yes, maybe that would be the best for both of us. I had some hope for you, but it looks like that was misplaced.
There is a hollow disappointment in her voice. You've never been negged by a ghost before. She raises a hand to you, her form silhouetted by the twin moons. There's a blissful moment where you feel suspended and still.
Oh, wow.
Okay, keep your mouth fucking shut. Goddamn, keep your mouth shut.
You keep quiet. Now is not the time for your incredible insights. The restraint you have shown here will surely be rewarded. She turns to you slowly, dangling somewhat limply in the air.
This act was for your benefit. But to proceed any further is pointless.
Her eyes are white. Her face is unreadable. Oh my god, ghosts are real too? Alternia is fucked up.
Boo.
Oh, Jesus. No thanks. This secret sucks. Time to fucking go. Sorry you said ghosts were fake or whatever bullshit.
Yes, and maybe that would be the best for both of us. I had some hope for you, but looks like that was misplaced.
There is a hollow disappointment in her voice. You've never been nagged by a ghost before. She
Huh?
raises a hand to you, her form silhouetted by the twin moons. There is a blissful moment where you feel suspended and still.
What? Wait,
Oh, wow. I should have just
I
went
think-
forward.
Hmm.
Troll, Jesus Christ. Inches away from your face, someone is bent over you and staring unblinkingly into your eyes. In a single panicked motion, you do a youthful sideways roll and spring to your feet. This doesn't seem to startle her at all, but we've,
Yeah,
21 seconds. Yep.
Okay, how about this? Fast forward. Just fast forward.
I can't.
Oh, this is not
Yeah, this is new, even though it's the same stuff.
your potential friend, a close too shabby bird. Dig up bones, beauty, how they... It's probably going to wait till we get that choice with ghosts. Right?
Big bone fan over here.
Rod, rigor mortis, I have a boner for dead people.
Would you like a corpse party? Oh, okay, yeah, no, she's talking. Okay, yeah.
Huh?
You want to know a secret? Ah,
There it is. You have never wanted anything more in your entire life. This one.
you have to admit you were a little fascinated by this line of inquiry. You don your signature cool person facade and tell her that there is nothing in this godforsaken universe that will keep you from hearing that secret. You throw in that you are going to die if you do not find out immediately. Smooth as butter, baby.
You don't know how relieved I am to hear that.
The way she speaks has shifted slightly. It sounds fuller, livelier. That's good.
Oh yes, I have been alive for some time. Now, all according to plan.
When she says the word time, her eyebrows lift a little, as if cueing you in on a joke she seems to think you are completely familiar with. You give it a polite chuckle. What a character. She beams, and there is a moment you forget that she was talking about ghosts and secrets.
They can't find us here. We've made them very mad.
They can't find us here? Them? We've made? You didn't ask for clarification on very. You're pretty confident about that one.
This is not the first time we have met. Though it's hard to say how long has passed since then. Time passes differently out here.
Hey, apropos of nothing, and far be it from you to comment on someone's appearances, but why does she look so much older? Why is she wearing the magic teen pajamas like John in them? And how does she manage to do her makeup so well and just not brush her hair at all? You know, with curls, the issues might actually be overbrushing. You don't want to brag, but you happen to have an encyclopedic knowledge of hair care products. Has she considered switching to a sulfate-free shampoo? God, you wish you had hair.
Wow, you ask a lot of questions, but I guess that's natural. Right now, we're on the outside of mechanical relevance.
You're going to have to stop her right there. You've had enough of canon and relevancy and what it means and what it is or isn't. Do people never tire of sniffing their own farts about canonical impact?
How rude.
Yeah, you're rude now. Fuck the narrative.
Absolutely phenomenal, and I could not agree more. Like I was trying to explain, out here, even the powers that be can't hear us. I must say I'm a big fan of your work. I've seen quite a few doomed timelines before, but nothing like this. You're something they had no contingency plans for, and Paradox Space is practically falling apart at the seams. The timeline has been peppered with inconsistencies and clues. Things here and there that cannot exist yet. Events that occur too early. I figured you were doing it on purpose, so I thought I'd get your attention. But you're a little broken, aren't you?
She looks disappointed as she says this. You don't know why she would want your attention, but she has it.
It's not only your attention I want. The powers are shifting, and the ones pulling the strings are distracted with their own meaningless problems.
No, it's not only your attention.
And the ones pulling are distracted with their own meaningless problems.
Yeah.
You really can't remember anything, can you?
You tell her you remember some things that you can't explain. Names of things, hints of the past, whispers of ghosts. Wait, how does she know this?
Yes, they've been whispering to you quite loudly. They are the fractured remnants of your departed selves. And they have been trying to help you get here at this exact moment.
You ask when and where here is exactly. As you look around, the scenery seems to shift. Sometimes you're inside, sometimes you're outside, sometimes you're in all places at once. You swear you see some shadow of your friends here and there, but in places they don't really belong. Why would Rose be in Kanaya's hive? Do they know each other? You want to know what is going on and why it is so important that you are here. Wherever here is.
I asked an old friend's ghost to tell an ancient space squid to burp a place for us to meet.
As one does, sure.
Think of it as a liminal space made of the same thing memories are made of. I have spent a lot of time in the furthest ring in these bubbles and trying to figure out how they work. So I have some ideas. But I don't think the ones who conceived them even really know exactly. What matters is the specific path you took to get here. It took you many tries, but you made it.
You get the feeling the more this is spelled out, the less sense it will make. Kind of kills the magic.
Yes. That is probably true of most things. Instead of explaining it to you, it's far easier to just rewind things and have you try again.
You're almost too embarrassed to say how many times it took you to get it right. She puts her hand on your shoulder and just shakes her head. Oh.
The important thing is you made it. I tried so many things to get you here. One time I pretended to be a ghost.
She affects a spooky tone, sort of waving her fingers around.
Hey, Sean. Since accidentally entering the medium, your particular class and aspect combination have given you knowledge and foresight you shouldn't have. But here, where this connection to every version of yourself is the strongest, we can do a little housekeeping.
She reaches her hand out to yours. Oh, fuck is it? Or, fuck, is this it? Or, oh, fuck, is this it? You are finally making a friend, and all it took was an infinite number of tries. You take her hand, and she smiles at you. And then everything goes off the shits. Something whoa. Hold on. Something flies into you. Oh, fuck, was that a ghost? You can see them. Oh, fuck, it has your face.
Oh, wow.
There are so many of them. One by one, they slam into you. The entirety of their lives and each of their deaths play out before you in real time. Aradia clutches your hand and begins to laugh in a way that makes you start to think maybe this wasn't a great idea. But you remember. You remember all of them. As the last doomed version of yourself is absorbed into your body, you collapse out of both physical and mental exhaustion. You're back in the dirt, back in the bone pile, You just sort of turn over and lay there for a second. Oh my god. Malik, Tizius, Boulder. Oh, little Diamond. Zip. Okay, maybe not that guy. But there is still a gap. Why are you here? You look down at the hoodie Malik gave you. Didn't Karkat's friend say something he had used this symbol for a long time? Or nobody had used this symbol for a long time?
I'm afraid I don't exactly. My
What?
I don't know that. I'm afraid I don't exactly. Yeah, my abilities
Oh,
have allowed
weird.
me to tidy up your timelines that have happened as sort of a tentative canon.
You roll your eyes. She ignores you and continues.
So whatever happened to you outside of the narrative is beyond my capacity as a guide of the deceased. But in no way we can find out. It is why I brought you here, to give you back your memories.
God, you miss just fucking around fucking around about hot dogs. You wonder what your friends are up to now. You think maybe you should check on them. She looks you in the eyes, and you stop rolling them for 2 seconds.
Aren't you tired of being nice? Don't you want to go apeshit? Wait, no. Shut up. Nobody's put the points in, Avalon, so the tits stay. For now. Okay, can I put apeshit there? Apeshit is... I fucking hate Twitch. Apeshit can go through. Apeshit can go through. But when I say coward... No, can't have coward as the thing. Fuck you. Apeshit. I don't know. There's one vote so far, Torvar, and it's a no. Man, y'all are lying about wanting to go apeshit. Man, democracy is really telling us things. They say don't go say hate shit now here. What are you talking about? Nobody's going to hate shit because everybody voted no. So, oh, look at the time. You were supposed to pick your punk rock alien daughter up at whatever mall 100 years ago. Do it. Pick up the...
So, okay.
Yeah, we're not going ape shit.
Damn.
No.
Oh my god, your friends? You have to go back. You look at Aradia. This is awkward. You actually have a prior engagement. Actually, this could work. You extend your hand in the universal come with me gesture. You try to focus on anyone. The comforting chaos of Ardata's house. The burnt-out mall where you promised Doraya you'd take her with you. Yes, it's all coming back to you. You were so glad to have an encyclopedic knowledge of that whole adventure before continuing. You zap the both of you onwards. You're in the fucking hallway. There's that T-posing turd. Aradia goes wide-eyed. No. Not this time. Eat my whole ass, you nobodies. You conjure the strongest memory you can. Oh my god. You sniffed Marvis's armpit.
Oh.
The shame you are feeling sends you reeling. This is it, you guessed. Or you guess.
You what?
But nothing is here. You float listlessly into a black void. Why isn't anything here? Where is everyone? You refocus. Maybe that was just a bad point to remember. You pull the strings of your hoodie tight, letting its warmth cover you like a dear friend's embrace. Surely you have spent enough time with Malik's jacket to have formed some sort of secret bond with the memory of him. This will be enough. It needs to be enough. You disappear and reappear in the same spot. You phase in and out over and over, and nothing happens. Aradia watches you, but seems to be giving you space to process this. It isn't enough. It was never enough. They're gone. You go limp and you just drift for a while. You hear the sad song of some sort of cosmic entity. Its low tones reverberate to your entire body, filling you with a sorrow you didn't know you were capable of feeling. An impossibly long tendril appears from the void and slowly makes its way towards you. It gently wraps itself around you. You don't even bother to question it at this point.
Wow. On a scale of 1 to 10, how shaken is your faith?
Why aren't they here, Aradia? Where is everything?
I don't know. But I'm here. Do you just want to vibe out with this space monster for a little while? I kinda do.
Yeah. Okay. You guess.
I don't know where your friends are or why there isn't anything here. And I'm afraid you might not find these answers until you confront the puppet master. But
But
isn't that fine? Friends and grudges, life and death, existence and nothing. This isn't it all the same in the end? The
if this is about Bone, you're going to lose your mind. She smiles.
well, I can confidently say it wasn't about not about bones.
Can't help but laugh a little bit.
Do you want to try again? I know there's a different way this goes. But I still wanted to see you do what you would do. You won't remember anything. Not even our friend here.
You think about it for a little bit. The tentacle sort of paps you in the face. Is it trying to comfort you? Eventually, you know that's what has to happen. She will remind you and tidy the mess you've made by coming out here. There's a path you needed to follow, and you keep trying to cheat it. You ask her to let you sit here for a little bit longer. You don't want to forget just yet.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Well, I guess we're... Da 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 da. Alright, go ape shit.
You think about it for a little bit. You've been gone for so long, and you can go back whenever you want, right? You gotta focus on the friends in the here and now. You know what? Yeah, let's trash this place. You stand up and kick over a small pile of bones.
No, my bones!
Oh, whoops. Sorry. She kneels down next to the carnage and just stares for a little bit. Shit, she looks completely devastated. It is actually kind of hard to watch. You turn away. Ah, biscuits. This is no way to canonize a friendship with a time god. What were you thinking? You were just too damn good at kicking over small piles of shit. Curse these powerful legs. Marvis wouldn't do something like this. That guy was cool as hell. Aradia begins to laugh in a way someone less eager for friendship might describe as a cackle.
Look,
She has arranged the bones into an outlandish, if not slightly vulgar, configuration.
for once I'm really okay with this. I was just lying to you for comedic effect. It's okay, you can laugh. Try it with me, say ha!
Ha.
Now say it again.
Ha.
There you go. I mean apeshit in more larger sense. I don't think any of them care about bones. Their loss. If you really want to see things fall apart, I can lead you to where you need to be.
You don't know who they are, and you don't give a single solitary shit. Fuck this place. Fuck whoever took your memories. Let's go absolutely buck wild up in this piece. You kick up some dirt and don't even care. Aradia produces a series of abstractions from thin air. Some sort of giant Ouija board. The lens spells out sickle, but an Alternian, which you still don't understand why you can read. But you know that, or you know what, not the weirdest. But you know what? Not the weirdest shit happening right now. Karkat's rambunctiously colored sickle appears mid-air. She hands it to you and excitedly takes your other hand.
Let's go.
Over the next few hours, you teleport around both Alternia and Earth, dropping a bunch of seemingly random objects in nonsense places, being careful not to be seen. You change a gift itinerary in John's iPad PDA. Or John's dad's PDA. Fuck, what the fuck? You sign the kids up for cell phone plans. Are you just doing chores? This really feels more like running errands than breaking anything.
Trust me. They're going to notice, and... oh, I bet they're going to be so steamed.
You personally guarantee nobody in their right mind will care about any of this. But the moment the words leave your mouth, something in the distance cracks. You don't see it. You don't hear it. You feel it. You zap to the next location. You steal Vriska's lipstick, and there it is again. A crack. You almost can't believe it. This stupid plan is working. I guess the devil really is in the details. Next to you, Aradia looks absolutely thrilled.
Subtle changes in the timeline can have big repercussions, but nothing like this. They usually just create a Doom offshoot, but this is a whole doomed reality. Don't you know what this means?
You tell her that you totally do know what it means, but just in case she doesn't know, she should explain it for herself.
If you just keep up whatever it is you've been doing, this whole place is going to come down.
Radia lifts an air conditioning unit and throws it into the atmosphere with her mind. Wow, that's fucked up. She sits on the edge of the roof, overlooking the city.
Thank you. This was fun.
A faint crack forms in the sky. The curtains of space and time pull back to reveal a nothingness that does not really make you feel as whole as you had hoped.
But it is still a bit for you to do. You still have a few more friends to make.
What? That's it? You put a crack in reality and then just go back to spending time with some teens?
Yeah. Aren't you also sort of a teen?
You explained that it was never very clear, actually.
Well, the answers you want are at the end of your path. The only way to find them is to get them to come to you. And they will. It will all make sense then.
You wish that were true. You sit next to her, your legs dangling over the edge of the molding. Before your eyes, the crack in the sky appears to be sewn shut, almost as quickly as it appeared. She was right. Something is happening. The two of you sit in each other's company for what feels like both a moment and an eternity.
Okay, I know Susie had to duck out because of stomach problems. They call it here.
I'm still here.
Oh, you are? Okay, never mind.
Well, wasn't that the last one for the night?
That was 4. And I guess we'll do 4 trolls tomorrow, and that'll be kind of nice. Okay. But, okay, so...
I just suffer an occasional curse.
Okay. So, How well are you guys with me sitting back and talking about Final Fantasy VII Remake and Rebirth?
Yeah?
Are you okay with spoilers?
I don't care.
I don't plan on playing Final Fantasy VII like ever.
So here's something that I kind of was thinking about today, and it's that Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is going down the path of Homestuck because they legitimately, there are now alternate timelines, the multiverse, and all the ones that are offshoots of the main one all have cracks in the sky and are all doomed. So I just sat there and pieced that together today, and I started finally, like, I got gut punched. That Kitase and Nomura are basically homestucking Final Fantasy VII.
Are they really?
Yeah, because
I can't believe that Final Fantasy VII is homestuck.
That's the most horrifying description I've ever heard of the new remake.
Yeah, but it is legitimately the truth of the matter, because like the events get set into motion where you fuck the time ghost, the plot ghost, but Sephiroth is like, hey, do the thing, and now he has time ghosts, and now there's the timeline where Zack's still alive. And but then choices are being made, but like each one of those is a different Doom timeline where like certain characters die. So I just realized, oh fuck, they are homestucking this thing. And
You're home sucking out.
and I can't wait to just say that to more and more people who start beating those games, because like I know that I can probably get some big people the moment they finish that game to go, yeah, this is Homestuck, isn't it? I know you've read Homestuck. I know if I put the seed in your head, you can see the connections. You can see the connections. It's Homestuck. Granted, 95% of that game is not Homestuck. 95% of that game, or at least Rebirth, is a very, very good remake of that part of Final Fantasy VII. With that bad part that is the Kate Sif segment, because I just kind of hate that. The Cloud acts like Sephiroth as he starts degrading. But it works. I really like that game outside of the ending and like the funny multiverse shit. But then again, it's like, man, it's just Homestuck, isn't it? I finally put together why I don't fully hate it, but it felt so familiar. It's just Homestuck. But without the beta kids taking down the entire plot until like the towards the end of Act 6.
Hey, you shut your whore mouth. The beta kids are fine.
I do not like Act 6, Act 1 through Act 6, Act 4. I am sorry.
Skill issue.
It's boring. It's boring.
You're boring.
Yes, I am.
This show isn't stupid, Grim. You're stupid.
You're stupid. Anyways, fuck. Now that I've dropped that knowledge, we can move on. Hey, if you're all up for it tomorrow, let's finish out the trolls tomorrow.
God, you know what? Fuck it.
We have Nepeta and Solix and the fuckboy
Eridan.
Fuck
It's
boy.
Nepeta, Solix, Eridan, and Theferi.
Yeah.
Theferi. And this one, Volume 9 with Nepeta might even be great, because I think we get to see Aqueous again.
Oh, cool. Your kin.
I will stab you. He is my baby boy, my son. He is precious.
Okay. I guess you're wrapping up, and so I'll let you stop first.
Later, nerds.
Oh yeah. Everyone, sorry, my chat. I love you guys. I'm sorry that I've been focused on actually reading Pesterquest, so I haven't really interacted with my chat. But I love you all, and also I love Xaver's chat. Jadiski, I see you. All right, I'll see you guys later. Good night. I'm ending my stream now.
Okay, so yeah, tomorrow we'll finish out this. I'm not sure about Saturday. We might just sit there and do this on Sunday and just finish it out on Sunday, because Saturdays are short days anyways. Anyways, I'm gonna raid Slump. I'm gonna raid Slump. Anyways, thank you guys for coming out tonight. Stay safe. I'll see you guys tomorrow night for more Pesterquest. We'll befriend the last 4 trolls. The trolls that somewhat don't matter.
The last stop for the best humans.
Sure. Whatever. Anyways, have a good